interested is to nurture the future young professional who will be joining this industry in future. Okay, so after your class has been completed or the course has been completed, obviously you have to step into anywhere in the pharmaceutical or maybe in a different life science field. So this courses will definitely be your starting career steps in your professional field. So where we can able to make yourself very comfortable and aware of the day-to-day activities, what is really happening in the industries. So let's take an example of it may be a pharmaceutical industries where you manufacture the tablet, capsules, or syrups, or you may be also even the injections or ampules, which you see in your day-to-day life about the medicinal products. So these courses will support you definitely for joining anywhere in the medical devices as well as in the pharmaceutical. So when we talk about the pharmaceutical industry, uh, there is a bulk, we call it as a bulk. It is a active pharmaceutical ingredients, we call it as. So that will be manufactured at the separate building, means separate industry even. And the formulation, what we get in the, your pharmacy, like it may be a tablet or maybe a capsules or maybe a, injections. So all these are considered as a formulation. So we call it as a API, which is in a bulk, which will be coming in the 25 kg packs or 10 kg packs based on the volume packs. And what we call it as a formulation is the individual packs, where you will be directly taking the medicine for your consumption. Then, when we have this API, that has been a separate sector where it has been manufactured, and when you have a non-sterile formulations, we call it as a non-sterile formulation, which is for your tablet, capsules, and other whatever you're taking parenterals. Apart from the parenterals, whatever you're taking through your direct enterals are called as a non-sterile dosage forms. And also topicals and eye ointments or maybe eye drops, everything comes under this. Of course, especially these eye drops should be sterile, so it's a sterile package. So I hope definitely everyone will be aware of what is sterile and non-sterile. So being a life science graduate, definitely will be aware of what is sterile. So sterile is nothing but we should be having anything free of organisms. So there should not be even one organism left in the in solution or any form of the tablet or sorry, not in the tablet, but in any form of the injectables. Okay, so that is the purpose of this program. Everything about how this manufactured, what are the activities have been done in the industry, within the industry, with various departments. And very key note on this, all the presentations, these are all like industry oriented activities. So don't worry about that. This won't be boring you definitely, because these are the definitely day in day out activities which you are going to be doing in your when you join some organization in industries. Okay, so this today's session is kind of a career guiding, which may be useful for you how to take your path in future. Maybe you will be in the third year or maybe second year or maybe in the final year student. But still, this the presentation what we are going to do for this next 3 hours will be definitely useful for you to identify which area you can focus in the Sorry guys, there may be some disturbance. Yeah. So let me just once again share the video. Yeah, sorry guys. I think now it will be audible for you guys. Yeah. So what we are discussing about this program will be supporting you for the future in what department you can able to start the career, and ultimately you will be not in the same department at the end of the career. Okay, so this course is completely designed for keeping in mind in future when you're being in the situation of handling some activities within the premises. Then this base will be helpful for you to realize the activities and to take a proper decision in your future career. Okay, so let's move on to the slides. And this is a very short presentation about ourselves, what we do in the industry. So we are a consulting firm with a pool of eminent expertise with a strong pharmaceutical as well as medical devices, and we also have a very new brand, activities like the T-cell therapies and other vaccines and other stuff. Professionals experienced with worldwide exposure. Okay? So we have completed most of the projects well within India as well as in different part of the world. And we deliver a very high quality attitude, compliance, and working experience in the global companies where we have been recorded at, we do a very good job in the activities and in the industries. And so we are not just only the manpower we provide, but we also provide the right solution first time. So which means that you should be very capable of handling these situations where you will be very front end awareness of these activities. So you should be giving a right solution to the person who is coming to you for any kind of discussions or activities together. So we have done a very good troubleshooting on technical complications in top scientific software. Of course, a lot of softwares are in industries right now. So we do a validation service for the software. When the new software has been launched, and we will be evaluating that software for validation. So that's why the key topic of computerized system validation, which is really booming world over, for the opportunities which lies in the medical device industries as well as in the pharma industries. Because moving forward, most of the 98% will be moved to a automated process in future. Maybe in next 10 to 20 years, that will be the scenario where most of the things will be in an automated condition. So obviously, when it has been automated, we'll be having this, IT solutions as well as these automated solutions and other PLC, SCADA, HMI. All these come into the day in day out life. In fact, we never expect before this pandemic that everything will be digitalized during even in the seminars and other stuff. Now become as a digital platform for all these training programs. And okay, so switch back into our discussions. I hope now this attendees are being caused 209. Fine. So let me give a short introduction about myself. And this is Balaji, and from southern part of India, from Chennai, and I completed my UG in UG in the microbiology, Bachelor of Microbiology from University of Madras, as well as I completed my Master of Science in Industrial Microbiology from Anna University. And then I was been working together with some of the organization in my earlier days, and then I tried to do my Master of Philosophy because I want to make myself career path to be defined, so that not in future MSc will not be supportive. So you should have some above that you should have something in your education. So then I tried to do, while I'm working, I try to do this Master of Philosophy by that time by working. And then after completing Master of Philosophy, and I joined together with VIT. So I'm proud of being a VIT student. for the doctorate in nanotechnology. So I have completed all my activities, but of course, I'm waiting for my thesis to be submitted and defended. So once I defend my thesis, I'll be, doctorate with in the field of nanotechnology. So the reason for choosing nanotechnology is everyone aware of what is being done with the nanotechnology, right? So in future, definitely most of the medicine will be coming into the nanotechnology platform. So since I come from a scientific background, so nanotechnology with the science, microbiology particularly. So we synthesize biosynthesized silver nanoparticles is my hot topic, and I presented my journals in nanomedicines and other ACS and other stuff. So that is my professional. Apart from the professional, from my education side. So from the profession side, since I completed my microbiology as a base, I should definitely go for the microbiology department in the pharma industry. So I made very specific in choosing the industry. So pharmaceutical, definitely people will be, taking medicine at one or the other day for their health benefits. So obviously, pharmaceutical is the only area where you will be having equal importance to the IT field. Okay, so in that sense, I started taking this industry. Further, I work with some of the companies in India as well as out of India, and I made myself in the career. Started as a microbiologist, then moving to the quality compliance, and then moving from that level to the GMP auditor, and then to the consultant. So now I have my own consulting firm where we have few members together we are working. So each one will be having their own way of making their career path defined. So most of the things are external factors are involved in making your career path as well as your future path. Maybe next 5 years, a lot of changes will happen in your family as well as in your education or maybe in your way of activities, and you may be suddenly going for any abroad for your future courses or something like that. So anyway, in any case, definitely this course will be helpful when you are moving the direction in the pharmaceutical domain, as well as you can go for the IT domain, because most of the IT companies are also supporting for pharma industries in digitalization platform. Okay, so that is a short introduction. Quickly, I just want to update you. And so moving to this slide, what the current slide shows. So we face a lot of real-time challenges handled in regulatory inspection. So the regulatory inspections, when we call it is someone from regulatory bodies or government bodies from international, maybe from US or maybe from EU, they will come to our site and they do their invigilations, right? For example, you may be aware of that local drug inspector go for the local companies to see whether everything goes perfect. They do a right job. So similarly, when you are supplying for the medicines to out of India, that organization or that federal agencies will come and visit your site. So it may be from US, it may be from Canada, it may be from Australia. So wherever you sell the product, there the person will, from that country, the person will come and inspect you. Okay. And switching back to the discussion, we discussed about this API, which is called active pharmaceutical ingredients, and which is non-sterile and sterile. There will be always the category non-sterile, sterile, chemical synthesis, fermentation based, biological synthesis. A lot of things are there. In formulation, same. It will be a various forms are there in the non-sterile and sterile. In the non-sterile, you'll be having tablet, capsules, and ointments, something, and in the sterile, injectables. You maybe saw the injections with the powder form, liquid form, dried, freeze-dried form. We call it as a lyophilization. So all these are mixed, for formulation activities. So what we are going to discuss in this is a combined of all the formulations as well as API, the bulk formulation. We call it as a bulk. Okay, perfect. So this is a short introduction and proven successful record we have in the remediation project. So what is remediation projects? Once the federal agent or the government bodies come to your site and done their inspection, they will leave with some observations. Okay, you are not done this properly, or you are doing something wrong in this area. So that will be remediated by the experts. So they call a third-party consultant like us for complying all those observations and regulations. So in such way, we will be doing these activities. And of course, we have a multiple team where we have different languages spoken within India as well as from out of the world, out of India, and active collaboration with regulatory agencies. We do a very close active relationship with as with India as well as China. We have a very close contact with the regulatory bodies, and we deliver a lot of projects worldwide. Like some of them are given here, and some of them are missed. Of course, it's for just for the reference. Yeah. So the next slide. So this today's session is going to very clearly talk about what will be your future opportunities in the pharmaceutical, biopharmaceutical, as well as medical device industries. So now I think you can see the slide of opportunities in pharma industry. So what we are trying to do here is like what are the technical areas you can concentrate as a science graduate as well as a pharmacy graduate. Okay, so here we listed out the technical area as well as the non-technical area. Before this, I want to add one more point about you. You may be starting your career with maybe consider as a QC, because most of them have tried to join the QC. That's fine, and then you won't be staying the whole life in the QC. Make that very clear. Okay, so sometimes you may be moving from QC to QA, and from QA to, because when you grow up and when you make your maturity in your profile, obviously you don't want to be doing the same activity. Like for example, I want to do every time medical or medicine testing, product testing. So that's a kind of a analyst job, which is a lab technician job. We call it as a lab technician job. So you may be interested in doing a same activity for less than 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Okay, so obviously you're never going to continue this same activity till your end of your service. So in that case, usually people will try to enter in the QC because all because we are coming from the science background, the same I done, and since we come from the science background, we all obviously focus on the QC part. Okay, so the same way I done my first interview, and then I got selected for the QC, and then I was very happy. And later I thought, what we are doing in the QC, okay, it's testing of all the medicines. Okay, there is a lot of things to be done inside, but the first top line of the QC department is approve or reject the batch. So this will be the top line for the QC activity. So either you have to approve the batch or reject the batch. Okay, but you can't release the batch. Release means commercially released for the external use. That is not in your hand. You always have the control of either approving the batch or releasing the batch. Okay, so the path when you're deciding, it should be like either you can start with QA or R&D or maybe even manufacturing or technology transfer or validation. Someone may be interested in doing a clinical studies or clinical area, because clinical is a separate area. Once again, it's not very closely working with the manufacturing sector of the pharma industry. Manufacturing sector is separate, clinical studies is a separate area. Okay, the very high level concentration of importance goes to the manufacturing area. In that, you will be having for sterile. So that's why I just want all of you in future, when you go for any next level of industrial visit, or maybe a internship, or maybe any kind of thesis, or whatever maybe the projects what you're going, always focus to select the what is this called, sterile background companies. Okay, so they should be doing some sterile manufacturing, because that is the top end in the pharma industry. So if you know what is happening in the sterile industry, it is obviously understood that what is happening in the non-sterile industry also. But if you join the non-sterile industry, then it is very difficult for you to understand what really happens in the sterile industry. So obviously, I want all the VIT students should be thinking about to be in the top. Okay, so in such way, please be very careful in identifying when you're going for any projects or something to select the sterile industry. So of course, most of them will be having some external links and other stuff. So make yourself to be choosing your project to be performed at the sterile industry. Also medical device, that's fine, but think about sterile device, sterile medical devices. Okay, so we'll deep dive into that, what are the sterile and non-sterile in our courses following for this 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, and these are the areas where the science students can able to quickly join and support for the industry. And also there is a non-technical area. Okay, this is very important: marketing, logistics, supply chain, as well as we have procurement team, business development, project management, planning. So in this, you don't want to worry about the quality of the medicine, how it is manufactured. All these stuffs are being not very much dealt in this division, non-technical division. So the focus of non-technical division is completely about the marketing. Hope you know marketing, which means that once the product comes to your hand, the salesperson will go and deliver. Because the very first time when I've been, one of my um, interviewer told that why you're not chosen marketing. That's a good field. I thought then if I want to go to marketing, very first impression I got in my mind is I have to take some suitcase and I have to walk to all the hospitals and pharmacies to sell the product. But that is the initial stage of business. But after 2 years or 3 years, you will become a manager or assistant manager, and then you move to a regional manager, and then going to the vice president. So that is a different world again. Okay, if you are going to be an entrepreneur in future, definitely I want everyone to be turned as an entrepreneur in the future. So you should know the end-to-end process. So even if you are a science background, you may be joining a QC department. You should be very careful in understanding the complete life cycle of the product, and you should be knowing each and every department's activities in a high level. Not to be very deep dive, but you should be knowing what is happening in the warehouse, what is happening in the manufacturing area. Suppose you join in the QC, you should be taking the your own time to develop yourself in understanding what is really happening in the marketing side, how they identify which product is going to be a blockbuster in future, how they do this logistics connectivity for selling the products from one part of the place to the different part of the world, and how the supply chain management is being handled, and how the procurement is done, because procurement is a very important topic where you will be procuring the raw material and all other accessories material, maybe a machineries and everything, and then you will be doing your process, and then you will be supplying to the client. Okay, and business development. Suppose you will be, when you are being in a business development, you will be doing some business for African countries, or maybe for South Africa countries, and maybe for US, Japan, and Australia. So when you know about what is business development, you know all these international business opportunities, and which is the weightage. For example, you can sell your products to South African countries, or Middle East countries, or maybe your Western African countries. What will be the volume? Volume will be more, but the profit will be less. When you do the same with the Japan, okay, the Japan is a very small country, but still they won't take the low grade materials because they are very much quality oriented guys. So they will be very specific in selection of the medicines, and they pay that much for them. Okay, the top market in the world is US, as well as Europe, and then Japan. So these three are the major regulated market. We call it as a regulated market. See, in all my courses, there will be some keywords. Okay, these keywords should be definitely kept in your mind, because these are going to be your daily words you'll be hearing in the industry. Okay, for example, API, formulation, lyophilizations, sterilization. So all these keywords will be there, and you can make a if you wish, you make a separate scribbling pad or note, and note on all these words, because these are the words definitely will be you should be knowing that what is API, what is serialization, what is lyophilization. So when you know these terminologies, obviously it is easy for you to link when you're talking with your friends, or maybe with your, after joining some companies, you'll be talking with your seniors, then you can easily connect your terminology. So this is a problem when you join the without this background information. When the people join the company, it takes more time to get accustomed with the situation. Okay, so that barrier will be broken by this course of the program, what we are delivering now. And yeah, coming to this slide again, the patent management. Okay, there is a separate department or maybe the functionalities for the patent management. So whatever the new product comes or going to come, okay, in the next few years, there is a department how to manage the patent, how to make that available immediate or first to the market. That is very important. People uh, try to do many products, but you should not be one among the 100. Okay, if you have a proper patent management, you can choose which product is going to be the blockbuster in maybe in the next couple of years, and then you work on that particular project. So our thought process should start from the patent management, the very first point in the life cycle of the product life cycle. The very first is about the patent management, whether that is patent is there or not, it has been expired, or will get any infringement because of this patent. So all these are being done by this department. Okay. So the one thing I want to mention is here, you are not going to start with one department and you are going to stay with the same department. Definitely in future you'll be moving to the entrepreneurship skill, and you may be starting your own industry even. Okay, there are a lot of opportunities are going for that. So in such case, you should be having a very high level understanding of all the departments. That should be your takeaway. Yeah. So same with engineering students of biotech, the same like above. Okay, so we'll be having manufacturing, warehouse, QA, validation. Of course, you can join the QC also, because even if I miss here, you can join the QC. But it can be a biopharmaceutical company or maybe a pharmaceutical company. Depends upon the the requirement. You'll be getting this opportunity to join the company. What our certificate will definitely help you. Even if you're in biotech, you can go for biopharmaceuticals as well as pharmaceuticals and medical devices, because our certification supports for all these three industries. Okay, which means our courses will be designed and deliver all the requirements which needs for this industry. And this is for GMP, QA, QC, and CSV. CSV is a common which will be applicable for all the industries, and QC will be common. But in the API industry, you will check the API in a bulk, which is in a small. It is not in a form of tablet or capsule. It will be in a form of powder or in a gel or in a liquid. The QC. Okay. In QC formulation, you will be doing a tablet or capsules testings, or maybe it's a ointment or drops, or maybe a liquid ampules, injectables with powder, lyophilized powder. The same department QC, but doing the product is different. Similarly, in biopharma, you'll be doing with the monoclonal antibodies or biosimilars or any biotech products, whatever may be, hormonal products, biotech oriented, or cell cultured biotech products. This will be in the biopharma industry, but the QC department remains same. Your flow of activity remains same. Everything is same here, but the product testing will be different, and the specification will be different, and the technology may be different. You can't use the same technology which will be used for biotech products for the chemically synthesized product, because there may be a flow cytometer will be used in the biotech product. Okay, but it won't be used in the chemical industry. So these are the variations, but the function remains same in the industry. And then quality assurance, all the complete quality assurance terminology, wherever you see in the textile industry, or maybe in the automobile industry, or maybe in the software industry, everything talks about the quality assurance, which has been a common guidelines is there for all the industries. So everything is common for industries, but your product varies, your manufacturing steps varies here. That's it. And your testing is varying. And accordingly, your trainings, validations, and other stuff varies, because the product is different. In the car industries, automobile industries, they manufacture the four-wheelers or two-wheelers. Okay, so their specification varies. They may be talking about nut, bolts, and other metal parts in the car. When we same quality assurance talks in the pharma field, we talk about the incoming raw material we'll be having for what is this called, APIs or excipients. Excipients is nothing but apart from the API in the tablet, whatever is there. For example, you take an example of paracetamol tablet. Okay, the paracetamol is the chemical word which is be in the tablet. That is called API, which means active pharmaceutical ingredients. Apart from that API, there will be many other excipients. We call it as an excipients, other ingredients to hold the tablet in that form. Maybe it's in an oval shape, or maybe it's in a round shape, or in a square shape, or triangle shape. Okay, to hold that material, the bulk, that API, in that particular form, they add other excipients. You can see any tablet prescription, sorry, the tablet pack inside. Okay, and turn it and see that there will be a paracetamol 500 mg, and remaining things they will put below that. So those are all called as a excipient. There may be one or two APIs will be there. It depends upon the formulation. For example, there is a medicine called what is this called? Amoxicillin sulbactam. They will be there. So sulbactam is one of the component, and amoxicillin is another component. Okay. So imipenem, cilastatin. Imipenem is one of the components. Cilastatin is another component. So maximum there will be two or three mixtures of API. Remaining all others are called as a excipients. Okay, these are the things you should be very clear. These are the keywords. Again, I'm giving you examples. Okay, so starting about this, again, whatever I told for the previous slide, you can be starting in a different platform, maybe in a QA, manufacturing, or projects, or whatever maybe, but your destination will be different from starting by today. Maybe after 10 days, or sorry, 10 years, you may be thinking about moving to the other sector. Okay, maybe developing yourself. So in such way, you should be aware of all the technical and non-technical activities, what is going in the industry. Okay, so nothing surprise for the IT and MCA students in the pharmaceutical industries. The reason is, as I earlier mentioned, that most of the things are going to be getting automated, because most of the industry as of now, like whichever is catering for the US and Europe market, or out of India market, I can say, are well equipped with the automation systems. So once the automation words comes, or a digitalization words comes, or a technology comes, definitely IT students are very important there. So they don't want to do the testing for the products, but there will be a service department for supporting for the other functionalities. For example, IT is very important for maintaining the server data and the connectivity of all the computers and other stuff. So we have a very separate guidelines and regulations for management of this IT systems in the industries. So that's why we have this new concept called IT QA, Information Technology QA, which deals about all the data security, data authenticity, and control of data, and management of the data breach, data governance, whichever is digitalized, and electronic records, whatever is saved in the computer is called as an electronic record. Paper record is our manual records. Electronic record is the record which is generated from any automated system. It's called electronic record. So this is very important to manage without any breaching of the data. Okay. For example, I should not able to change any data which is being generated from the printout, electronic printout. Okay, either in the system or in the paper form. Okay. So these are the controls measures will be implemented by this IT support. So computerized system validation is one of the things we'll be discussing in our course. What is computerized system validation, generally speaking? So every testing or any automated activity needs a computer and the softwares and the hardware. So what we do is that we verify the software whether it's performing as intended. This word is very important in the industry. Intended use will be used many places by your seniors once you join the organization. So intended use means some specific use have been defined. For example, take an HPLC. So HPLC should identify the peak for particular compound. Okay, so this is the purpose of the HPLC. The intended use is to identify the peak from the particular compound or product. That is the intended use. Okay, so to support for that arriving the intended use activity, the computer has been supporting for the testing purpose. The person is doing the lab analyst is preparing all the solutions and mixings and everything, and then he plays the wire inside the HPLC. So now the work starts with the HPLC. So you have to define the program in the HPLC to what to do, how much ml I have to take, what is the temperature I have to maintain, how much is the runtime. So all this is the it's an in feed for the computers. Okay, so once this in feed has been done, it should be verified by the other person. So if anyone does a wrong in feed, for example, instead of putting one micro liter injection, I put 10 microliter. That is a wrong information. So your result will completely disturbed. It will give tenfold times up more than the expected value. So these are the controls will be given by the privilege management. You might be knowing what is the privilege management. So like how we handle all these, giving the access to the person, yes, no, or allowed for doing this activity, enabled and disabled. All these are things which will be covered in the computerized system validation activity. Okay, so obviously job opportunities for IT companies for pharma domain is there, and similarly for job opportunities in pharma companies for IT domain also is there. So if you want to join in IT company, you can able to join because you have a pharma background. Any IT companies support for the pharmaceutical business. They may be developing a new software for one of the activities. Then definitely they will take your support. Of course, not in the initial stage. Maybe you are very fresher, so you don't have any knowledge in the industry. But once you join to the department of QC or QA for after 5 years or 6 years of experience, obviously there will be a chance for you to switch to the IT company also for the pharma domain activities. Okay, so that's you have to keep in mind that there is no very restrictions available, that since you started your career in pharma you have to try always in the pharma. Okay, and now now you are be hearing about all these artificial intelligence concepts, right? So these are the things which breaks everything in the life, which means that you can plug and play anywhere. So all this data collected are very much useful. So everyone can be having some basic knowledge in the artificial intelligence. Even if you're in the science background, I encourage you to have this courses to be completed. That will be definitely useful in the future to make artificial intelligence activity in your domain. That is very important. So now moving to the next slide, we are talking about here strategic planning for young professionals. So that's why I was been already explaining what to be your focus and other stuff. So what are your interests? That is very important. You should be very careful in choosing your interests. I already given you the tips. Be prepared to choose the sterile manufacturing companies. So that is the top. Okay, if you push for that, you try to ask your coordinators to get the projects in the sterile companies. So you approach us for getting some projects in the sterile companies. We will support. So always be the best. That is the important. And being a VIT, it's been integrated in our blood. Okay, we'll be the best always. Okay, what do you want to be? So you have to be deciding yourself. Okay, based on my family situation, or maybe my academic situation, or maybe my financial situation. This is my projection in the next 5 to 10 years. I want to be like this. I want to develop a software which will be supporting for the pharma industries. Maybe that is your idea. You'll be having an idea. Idea will come not only from the pharma industry students. Okay, it means life science students. Software idea can be coming from life science students, and technical idea can come from the IT students also. So it's vice versa. So ideas are always available with everyone. Okay, so what are your skills? So you develop your skills for that. Are you planning to do a future business in the supply chain, or business development for the product marketing to the international market, or you may be trying to do yourself a app based business development for also for supply of the medicines. So all depends upon your skills. So you identify your skills and be prepared for that. Maybe now it is in a very small stage. You'll be having 5% of the thought or something like that. But keep thinking about that. You'll be definitely achieving to the next level in that process. Okay. So what type of careers fit for your skills and interests? That is very important. Whether you may be choosing now QC or QA or project. For example, when I chosen this pharma industry, I thought about hospital, because usually pharma microbiologists will think about joining to some hospitals. I thought Whether I can survive in the hospitals with the blood and urine samples and motion samples, that is not possible for us. Then I thought my mind said, okay, let's move to the liquor industries where these people have all these alcohols. There also microbials needed because breweries are there, right? Distilleries and breweries. I thought about that, whether we can join that kind of organization. Then I come to know that okay, that is a kind of offensive one, which we are encouraging people to drink about that. So then I thought, okay, uh, pharma is the right place to work. So I made all the decision that pharma is the right place. So you can quickly jump into the pharma field because you are having a pharmaceutical or biotech or any life science background. So it's easy to quickly go into the pharmaceutical. After this pandemic, everyone knows the importance of the pharma industry. Okay. Moving to the next point, what do you prepare yourself for the career planning? That is very important. So you have to prepare yourself for the career planning, which is like um, about this what we are discussing on how to make yourself ready for the future. You know the industries. Maybe it's maybe a pharma industry or medical device industries or biopharmaceutical industries. So how you are getting prepared yourself, that is very important. And we are talking about how we are preparing is through the courses. Okay, so what kind of course we are going to take and how we are going to do your projects and how you are going to make yourself better than other person in the industry who is approaching for the this opportunities. Okay, as I mentioned, what is your goal will be for the next 5 to 10 years. Factor affecting your path. um, Families and studies are always important because there will be some situation you have to take over the family and do. Okay, and studies will be there. Commitment will be there for you. Financial status is very important. And of course, once you join the company, there will be a lot of internal politics. You have to handle all these things. So these are the things will be deciding your factors. Sometimes now after this, this current situation, people have been lost their jobs. Okay, many people work in the industry, but they lost the job because of internal politics, maybe of layoff or whatever may be the situation. Okay, in such way, that's the reason I am telling you should be always having a backup plan where you have to stand on your own. Okay, so in such way you should think about your entrepreneurship skill parallelly you when you're working in the same domain. Maybe your entrepreneurship skill can come from the same domain or different domain, but you should be always have a second income plan in your life. What we are going to do is the next point, next slide is talking about the research and development. What if you chosen the research and development? What will be your scenario in the particular department? Okay, so if you join as a if you completed M.Pharm or PhD or whatever maybe you are joining as a research associate, you will join for involves in R&D work in organization for developing a new formulation, new molecule. So all any new molecules from the academics, so the doctorates or they identify new molecules that come to the R&D lab for from to the industry, and the R&D chemists or R&D executives. These are the roles in the research and development area. So you will be joining and working in that platform. Okay. So the roles are like R&D chemist, executive, research scientist, research associate. Further, you'll move to the group leader, head, and vice president. So this is a hierarchy in the research and development area. And so your job profile will be something like this. Building a culture of innovation to drive innovative generics, new drug delivery systems, new drug applications, creating a new medical device concept, and all these things will be your initial, development of these products. Okay, so that is very important. This will be your future. Like for example, after 10 years, these molecules will be coming into the market. So you work for that molecules like 5 to 10 years back, how to make that process effective to the patient. So that is the job opportunity in the research and development. Contribute new product selection and prioritization decision. Operationalize and align the integrated product development team to deliver on time within budget drug development. Okay, so if you go for any job opportunities, okay, you can find the position name when they provide you the job opportunity. They will send the job profile. We call it as a job profile. Okay, so when you apply for the some job profile, you just go and see the what is the content given in the job profile, because they give you the full content, what is their expectation when you join. So that is the main key criteria we'll be doing in that industry. Or if you suppose you're trying to apply for any organization, always go through this profile position, years of experience, and then what they really ask you to do. Okay, when you join the company, you'll be delivering all those key activities. So these are the key activities you'll be delivering in the research and development. Preparation of SOPs. SOPs means standard operating procedure. For example, you'll be having some how to test the sample in UV spectrophotometer. So that is the SOP, which means how to switch on, how to do the activity, how to prepare the sample, how to place, how to run the software, how to open the software, how to take the reading, how to interpret the results. Everything will be given in the SOP. So this is very, very important. Please keep this in the mind. In the industry, you are not alone. You are being guided by many ways. So whatever you're doing is not something that is coming always from your mind. It is always in the systems, which means it's a system, which means it's been defined the flow. Like this only you have to perform. If you go to the industry, the very first 1 month or 2 months, they won't allow you to work anything in the industry because they want to give you a proper training on what they are doing. Okay, even I give all this training. This is a high level training. Okay, but uh, for the record purpose, even for the record purpose, the company, when you join the company, they will give you a complete training on all the documentation what they have. For example, you want to do a testing of UV or UV spectrophotometer. Okay, they will tell you, read the SOP. Okay, the SOP will tell what to do, how to do everything. This is not something like an examination. Once you read the SOP, you have to keep it and you should not see the SOP. Anytime you do an activity within the premises company, you can have the SOP in hand. So you're not doing some mistakes. Okay, it's not something it should come from your mind. Everything has been systemized. Okay, it's not people driven. All industries work on the system driven. People driven means you'll be having your own mindset to do how the best way. Okay, but it differs from people to people. Let's take an example. You pipette for 5 ml and slowly drop in the conical flask. Someone will pipette 5 ml and forcefully drop in the conical flask. That force dropping may differ the product development. Okay, somewhere you will be slowly dropping so that the proper mixing will happen, the product will develop. If suppose you are not properly mixing, it won't develop. If you keep the conical flask and keep on dropping without mixing it, okay, the product may change. Okay, these are the scenarios, factors will impact the product development. In such case, the SOP will drive you. Yes, you have to slowly, drop by drop, you have to leave the solution, and while leaving, you have to keep shaking the flask or rotating the flask. So once it has been given, you should properly follow that. You should not be okay, this is just adding of liquid to the conical flask. Why I have to do that? It's not like that. Something is there. Purpose is there to write that dictating words in the SOP. Okay, that is called SOP. So you always keep in mind that you are not left unattended. You will be always monitored definitely because your seniors will be looking at you, and if anything goes wrong, they will ask you why it is going wrong, everything. So definitely you are not left unattended. So you have all the support from your team to do that activity. Okay, let's take an example. Calibration of balance. Okay, you are going to do a calibration of balance. It's not something coming from your mind. You have to do that. Everything is written there. Don't worry about that. What is, you have to do everything by your own. What is written? Follow that. If anyone asks you, tell that I followed the written practice. What is given here, and I done the activity. In any time you forget also, you can always have an opportunity. Wait, I will go and check the procedure, and I will tell you what I have done. This is the way. So it's not something like everything should be in your mind and that's it, that has been done in your day-to-day life. It's not like that. Okay, anytime you have been guided with the documents as well as your seniors who are you're immediately reporting to them. Yeah, so these are the activities you'll be doing under the research and development department. There is another department called as formulation development. As I mentioned, formulation is a separate area where you will be having different formulation activities. For example, tablet is one of the formulation, capsules is a formulation, and liquid filling, as well as your lyophilization. So the critical formulation department is a lyophilization department. You know what is meant by lyophilization. So something which is liquid form is directly converting into the powder form. Okay, so this is anything which is in a liquid will be freeze dried, and it has been converted to the powder form. So this is a very complex, difficult department in the formulation department. Very simple department is a liquid injectable. For example, I have two compounds, mix it in a proper way, make that solution ready, fill it, send it to the manufacturing process. That is simple process. So eligibility for this department lies with M.Pharm, B.Pharm, PhD, MSc, BTech, Biotech, whatever may be course. Any life science I can say for now. Okay, the roles will be like similar to the R&D. F&D and R&D professionals work hand to hand, almost with the same profile, but major difference in F&D is more research towards formulation aspects, unlike molecular development. So R&D will focus on the molecule development. Here, F&D will focus on the formulation development. So how to formulate that? For example, whether I have to put 500 mg with other excipients, which is other material, or I have to put 250 mg and other excipients. So that is the formulation. Whether I will take 250 mg gram, 500 mg gram, or 1 gram. So these are the definitions will be derived by the formulation department. Okay, so one more additional input for you. Why this 500, 250, 1 gram comes for the medicines? Because that is called as a strength of the medicine. We call it as a strength, which means that is the dose level. So accordingly, the formulation will be developed. So how the dose level is developed? It is about the human consumption. There is always a guideline or standard that one person should take with this weight. For example, 70 kg man with the weight of this should take only 1 gram per day. For example, the sodium chloride, we are taking the NaCl, right? This salt is also been limited. You have to take for per day this much is the only quantity allowed in your body. If you are going beyond that, then it's a become a poison for you. It will be impacting in a different way for you. Maybe it's impacting your kidney or your blood circulation or your hypertension. Everything comes into the place. Okay, so always there is a threshold. We call it as a limit for threshold, that it should not go beyond that. Okay, even if you have paracetamol, you can't take 10 tablets at the time. That's a risk for you because you're overdosing yourself. So one day, if it is a very serious molecule, let's take an example of high potent molecule. We call it as a high potent molecule, cytotoxic molecule. There is a very limited doses allowed. You can't go and give, okay, I will give more 10 grams per day so that all the cytotoxic cells can be die in our body, but it will be impacting our cells also. So that's why the dosage is very important, right? So that is the key functionality of formulation development department to perform this activity. Further, selection and formulation development scientist role include the design and perform pre-formulation studies considering the characteristics of the drug substance, as I mentioned now. Selection and characterization of reference products for the use in development trials and bioequivalence studies. So you will be supporting for all these bioequivalence studies, trial studies, everything. Conduct trials to finalize the prototype and process optimization for the pilot scale manufacturing. So once you develop all these in the small bench, okay, inside the laboratory, this is the process of doing that. You make a trial in the bigger size, okay, move to the higher volume. Execution of scale up, that is a higher volume, and exhibit batches. This is a keyword. Exhibit batch means which is the final batch will be taken in the production environment in the manufacturing area. Okay, will be submitted for stability. Stability is another technical word. I will explain you later. Okay, so exhibit batch is a keyword. You will be hearing this many times in the industry. To identify the suitability of formulation and manufacturing process for higher scales. So as a formulation development support, you will be doing all these activities. Compilation on product development report. So this is the reporting, how you are reporting the report of each product. So now we are moving to the clinical results. As I mentioned, biopharmaceutical is a separate domain, clinical is a separate domain. So in the clinical research, you'll be doing a clinical trials, bioequivalent studies, pharmacokinetic studies, toxicological studies, clinical training analyst, and clinical research monitor, and then clinical research associate. So these are your various hierarchy in the industry. So some of the example companies are there. Quinta is, I hope you know, that is one of the top company for clinical research. And then now I'm talking about the pharmacovigilance. Okay, so that is under clinical research again. So pharmacovigilance, once again, eligibility students are M.Pharm, B.Pharm, even MBBS, MSc, BSc, PhD, PharmD, BTech, all can able to join this company in this kind of department. So what is their role actually? So pharmacovigilance research associate, clinical data management will be their activities, and pharmacovigilance scientist will be the role. Safety analyst, for, as I mentioned, if the product crosses the threshold level, what will be the risk in the body? So that they will be identifying. Conduct pre-studies. They will do the pre-studies before it comes to the human conceptions. They do a trials. Okay, they do a animal trial and then a clinical trials. Okay, we will be talking what is clinical trials in deep in the classes. Okay, so initiation of the studies, monitoring and closeout of the visits, site according to the sponsors SOPs. SOPs means sponsors means here who is giving this project to you and the procedures they will give. And the GCP is nothing but, this is very, very important, GXP. Okay, the word GX stands for anything. Okay, you can keep C or M or L, whatever may be. So G stands for good, C stands for clinical, P stands for practice. So GCP means good clinical practice. GXP means G, good, X can be anything, P for practice. Okay, so for X you can put C. If it's a C means clinical practice. Another C is also there. If you put another C, good cleaning practice. Okay, if you put E, good engineering practice. If you put D, good distribution practice. If you put another D, it is called good documentation practice. If you put M, it is good manufacturing practice. Okay, if you put L, it is good laboratory practice. So this word will be very much 1,000 times you'll be hearing in a day in the companies. Okay, GCP, GXP. GXP is a common word. X stands for anything. Okay, maintain ongoing site correspondence and site files. Okay, so these are the responsibility of the person who is joining under the pharmacovigilance department. Complete visit reports and maintaining studies related database, oversight and interaction with clinical research site, and review of patent charts and clinical research data, everything. So to know more about all these roles and responsibility, as I mentioned, you just go for a Google, take any company's job profile. Okay, for pharmacovigilance, 3 years experience, you just see they will be listing all these requirements as the precursors. They should be having all these elements in their previous working atmosphere. So they should be aware of all these experience. To the contract research organization. So most of the companies have been doing this contract research organization, which means that if you not own the you can't able to do everything at your own site. Okay, for example, if you want to do a API, which means a bulk, you can't do at your own site. Okay, there is another site for doing that. Okay, and you will be doing a formulation. So you can't do from the complete product life cycle. I can have an R&D. Okay, but I can't do everything on my own at the initial stage at least. Okay, so if I start something for a very customized area, I will do only the method development, product development alone. Then that company is called as a contract research organization. They won't do for themselves, they do for others. Okay, the sponsors. For example, there is a big company called Pfizer. Okay, they want to do some activities with Biocon. They will provide the source and other stuff to Biocon. So the Biocon will act as a contract research organization, which means that particular part, all the patent rights and all the royalties, everything belongs to Pfizer, but the customized work will be done by Biocon with all the agreements, everything. So in fact, very much important is that here the laws are very important, international laws, because doing a business, in every business there is always very important is industrial law should be followed and legal laws are there. For example, if Pfizer and Biocon are doing some project, they will be joining together with the proper establishment of agreements and law, because in future there should not be any dispute raising on these products, because you can see a lot of companies will be filing case in the US for charging them that this is my product but they have been stolen it. So these are comes in the industry, but that is a completely different non-technical part which will be driven through the legal sector. That is the industrial law or any other particular international business laws are applicable for that. So anything which has been outsourced from the company and the person is independently doing, he is not owning that process, he is not owning that product, then that is CRO, Contract Research Organization. Okay, so they will be supporting you for new drug discovery, process development, formulation development, clinical research, even testing of products. So that can also be done by the third party. So contract testing organization is something like a third party do the piece of activity for you with all your controlled environment. You have an opportunity to work in the contract CRO also. That's the intention of this slide here. And next, one of the very important department is regulatory affairs. So regulatory affairs is something like a front end of your department, your activities. The complete product will be created as a bunch of documents, all the documents starting from R&D till the end of the process, the commercial or even the packing. Okay, all these will be in a record format. Okay, everything will be generated as a document part, and that document will be submitted to the agency. We call it as a federal agency of US or maybe a regulatory agencies through the regulatory department. So what the main purpose of this department is a kind of a front end management to deliver all the documents to the department, to the agency. It may be a US, it may be Europe, or it may be Australia. The team should be aware of to which countries they are filing the product. They should be aware of doing these activities, how to present the documentation in a proper way. Okay, we will be seeing about this department activity in future, means in the coming slides also, what their day in day out activities also. So this department will be the front end to speak to the international clients. So you will be having an exposure to talk to the international clients, understand their requirement, and accordingly you will be it's a kind of single point contact. Okay, SPOC, you can keep like that. So between the agencies as well as internal department, external to internal department is connected to this regulatory department. Okay, so you can get a good opportunity of joining this company here also. And these are some of the profiles, means job profile for the drug regulatory affairs department. So as I mentioned, you will be interaction with all the department of the company, and based on this cooperation, prepare a variety of documents necessary for research, development, and production of drugs and medical devices. So whatever I explain here, it is common for pharma, medical device, and biopharma. So you will be having a wide exposure to join any of these companies. Okay. Preparing for regulatory inspection. Of course, this is a piece of work for the regulatory department, but the complete work lies with the every department for preparing for regulatory inspection. Regulatory inspection means a third person from a different country will come here and visit your site and verify your systems and practices. Interaction with government to obtain regulatory approval for conducting clinical studies and for production of therapeutics. So you will be, as I mentioned, you will be the single point contact for discussing about the process with the regulatory agencies. Regulatory certification process and agency communication, as I mentioned. IPR and pharma patents discussions. So you will be evaluating whether we are in a safer side in the patent rights and other stuff. We are not infringing others' patents and getting lawsuit from the company. So we should be very careful on all these elements. Preparation of drug master files, which is called DMF. It is applicable for API, what I mentioned as active pharmaceutical ingredients. So when you are submitting the complete profile of the product, how it is manufactured, how it is tested, how it is processed, how it is released, how it is how the stability is there. All this complete package of the life cycle of the product, starting to end. Okay, that package is called as a drug master file, which is applicable for APIs, which is active pharmaceutical ingredient. The same A&D, new drug submissions, abbreviated new drug submissions, or for formulations. The first one is for the API, DMF is for the API, and the remaining for the formulations. So when they call DMF, that is a complete package of API. That should be in your mind. If they call ANDA or ANDS or something like that, then that is a complete package for formulations. Now we are moving to the manufacturing production department. So most of the time, M-Pharm, B-Pharm, or even diploma students have been diploma in electrical engineering or mechanical engineering are used in the manufacturing industry. The reason is all are mechanical parts inside. Okay, you know that pharmaceutical industry is a complete integration of various industries, various departments. Mechanical department is there, engineering department, because without engineering or electrical we can't do anything. Without machineries we can't do anything. Without IT we can't do anything. So these are the ancillary departments they will be supporting for the manufacturing operation. In the manufacturing operation, usually people will recruit a person who can operate the machines. So obviously, as a BTech students or biotech or any microbiology or maybe a science graduate cannot able to go and operate the machineries. Okay, so they will be obviously expecting mechanical students who can able to join for this position, and they will train in the pharma field. What they will train, how to operate the machinery. That is the lookout, only the machinery part, and how to save the product which has been manufactured when he was present in the manufacturing area. So that is the expectation in the manufacturing and production department. So most of the time they will recruit only the mechanical persons in this department, either maybe a BE or diploma candidate. But what we will do in this department is very important. So we will be the person looking after all the ancillary activities in the department. For example, whether the area is clean, comes to the department of QC and QA to verify it. Okay, whether the temperature is maintained in the area properly. Engineering will take care that okay, the temperature and AC condition is properly working in the department. All the light fittings, everything is working. Once again, engineering electrical department will take the responsibility. Anything goes wrong, for example, there is a machine part which was broken. Mechanical team, it's not a responsibility of production person to change. The mechanical from engineering team will come and do that activity. Why we have then the mechanical person in the production? Because for any parts changing, you want to change the parts. For example, there is a small wire, you want to make as a big wire, you have to move the conveyor belt. For these small activities, we can't call the engineering team. So manufacturing team will be having their own mechanical team, mechanical production person with the knowledge of mechanical exposure, where they will all do these fittings and screw up and screw down and change the parts, make the flow of assembly parts are very properly working. All these will be taken care by the production officer itself. Okay, production person itself with the knowledge of mechanical background. If anything goes wrong, for example, there is a broken in the machinery, then the engineering department will come into the picture to make that necessary solution for the broken parts. Now production, as I mentioned, the roles and responsibilities of productions are follow quality by design. As I mentioned, the person who has been doing the activity inside should be following all the procedures. He should not be contaminating the area when he was in a sterile area. He should not throw something from his body, or he should not be making some spitting inside the area. So all these are very important characters should be there. That will be driven by the procedures. Meeting all the delivery schedules for the products as committed in the plan. So they have to follow the schedule, because if they want to plan to have for a particular batch to be completed today, 10,000 vials of particular batch. So they run the batch today and complete their activity. So that is their job. So they have to complete the task on what they decided for the day's activity. Support and maintain equipment, as I mentioned. So they should be capable of maintaining the equipment because they are the user. They are the owner of this equipment. So it's something like our bike, how we take care of our bike or car. So we should be responsible. Even any small adjustment we can do, but if it is major one, we'll go to the facility where they will be taking care properly, to the centers where they work on that. Okay. Systems and procedures. So we have to follow the systems and procedures. Okay, related to manufacturing operations. So there is a lot of different manufacturing operations. For example, mixing of solution in a tank. Okay, adjustment of the pH, setting up a temperature, rotating the shaker. So all these are aided by the automation process. Everything is a one touch nowadays. So if you want to adjust the temperature, something like you have to go and check test in the drop up box. So that you have to set. For example, I want to set it at 8 degree, push the button and make it 8 degree. So that knowledge should be there for the production employees. So they have to manage the shift, packing, labeling, shipping and serialization process, cleaning and operation of process equipment. That is very, very important. The equipment will be used for multiple products. So obviously, once the activity has been done, the material should be cleaned. Maybe it's not necessary the B Farm or M Farm graduates will clean the equipment, but it will be given to the housekeeping. They will do the cleaning of the activities, cleaning of the equipment activities will be done by them. But they have to be, verifying that that has been cleaned and properly labeled and kept in the respective places. So these are the important job for the production team. Okay, now the comes is a very interesting topic, QA. So QA is a prime department we can say, but of course it's not a revenue generating department in the company. Okay, so the revenue generating department is the production. Okay, because they do the production and they sell, they support for the selling. Marketing gives you the business. Production makes the volume. What does the QA does? QC or QA does. Okay, they test and release the product. Testing by QC, releasing by QA. Some international companies will be calling only quality, which means it includes quality control and assurance. So quality means in the top level, it includes quality control and assurance. Quality control is something like the person who do the testing of the products. Approve, reject is only the limitation with the quality control. Assurance is only review the documents of quality control, which means that all the testing data, testing reports, result report, everything will come to QA. They will review all these and find there is no any issues. Similarly, all manufacturing batch record, these are the important words, okay? Manufacturing batch record or batch packaging record, BPR, they call it as a BPR, MBR, master batch record. So these are all the documents will be given to QA after completion of the batch. Okay, from start to end, what is the raw material comes into the process for this production? Who has issued that? Where will be issuing that? Okay, how much quantity they issued? How much has been delivered? Who has witnessed that? And how it has been transported? Whether it is transported in the required temperature, intended required temperature condition. Okay, and whether it has been transported in the intended packaging. It should not be. It should not be. Taken in. Product with something like already used one utensils, okay, reactor. I can't take without cleaning that. I can't take that product B in the same reactor. Okay, so we have to ensure that before taking the product B, the utensils or any carrying device is being cleaned. So all these verification will be done by the documentation, and that will be counter verified by the QA. So this is the batch manufacturing record from starting to end. If you are using any machineries, all the machinery reports will come. For example, I want to sterile the rubber stoppers. You know what is rubber stopper? If you have a wires, there will be a rubber stopped. That is called as a rubber stopper in the glass wires. Okay, so that rubber stopper should be sterile because it is in a sterile product. Okay, so then there will be an autoclave, a very huge autoclave. You can imagine whatever you're seeing in the college is something like a academic model, but when you come to the industry, there will be a huge 10 feet to 10 feet length, breadth, height. There will be such kind of huge autoclave where all the materials are kept inside, but the principle remains same. Whatever you read, study in the college, The principle remains same, but there will be more vigorous quality check and qualification and validation, because that is going to the body of the human for the treatment purpose. So the patient ultimately should be very safe with all these products being developed and manufactured at the industry. So these rubber stoppers are getting sterilized. Okay, so all these package, the data of package comes to the batch record. So batch record and your testing record, laboratory testing record, together will be reviewed by QA. So all these examples of what I told is for the QA person going to review this job. So here QC is going to do the job of QC chemist, which is like media preparation or sample preparations, or maybe testing of balance calibration, pH testing, conductivity testing, something like that. The same profile for executives also. Technical manager is something like he will be having a team of 20 executives and chemists. So he will direct the activities, how to do, what to do. He will quickly support you in case of anything goes wrong, something like that. QC manager is the next higher level, where you will be doing some overall management of the program. For example, suddenly manufacturing department or QA wants to do some additional testing. There will be a meeting invited and ask them, okay, can you able to do this testing with the existing procedures? Then QC will decide yes, no, because that is based on the experience. That will be the QC manager's role. Okay, so this is the hierarchy in the QC. You start as a chemist, executive, sometimes you call it as a junior executive or trainee or whatever maybe. So in next 5 years, you'll become an assistant manager or a manager, and then in the 10th year, you'll become a QC manager or AGM or DGM. So moving in the track is not based on the years. This is very, very important in all the departments. Please be attention here. Moving in the track is not based on the years. It's based on your capabilities. Okay, so how much you are becoming expertise. First, for example, you started your career in 2020. Okay, you can reach in 2030 to a position of vice president. Okay, if there may be a person who started his career in 2010 or maybe 2015, 5 years back. Okay, he may be reaching not even to the manager level in the 2030. All this depends upon the place where you exist, how much you are contributing, and the external factors of politics and other stuff. Everything plays a role here. Okay, so you should be very smart in being handling the politics is very important, handling the technical things is very important, and handling your capabilities means expanding your knowledge is very, very important. Which means the shortest path you can make yourself from 2020 to 2030 as a vice president is achievable in next 10 years. In fact, in next 10 years, you may be reaching to one company and quickly you can start your own company in next 5 years. That is also possible. Okay, if you have a proper support and financial and other stuffs, everything, you can do this activity also. So every individual is having their own talents. So, but you should have your entrepreneurship skill everywhere, so that definitely that will be making you to the next level in all the industries. Okay, it may be a maybe a pharma industry, or maybe a biopharma industry, or even it may be a IT industries. Okay, we can successful in that area. Okay, moving to the quality assurance. Okay, so quality assurance is inspectors is a very simple term. You don't think inspector means it's a very high level. It's something like checking. Some product is going in the line. Okay, you will be keep taking the product and checking its quality. Okay, this has been perfectly filled. Okay, and there is no any damage in the vial. It's a very low level job, because the inspectors are told only to see the product is broken or not, any damage is there, that's it. Okay, so that is the profile of inspector. We call it as a visual inspector. Sometimes they will check only the visual check of the product quality, and then they go for the packing. After you check that, it will go for the packing. QA is executives. So QA will be a very prime role here, as I mentioned. The QA executive, if you are having a good background from the QC, you will be reviewing the QC document. If you have a good background from the engineering, you will be reviewing the engineering document. If you have a good background from the production, you will be reviewing the production background. But for the first few years, you should be working in some particular area. For example, you joined as a QC for 3 years, and then you can move to QA. But this transition is very important. If you fail to do this transition, you get logged in the QC itself. If you're crossing more than 10 years in the QC, very difficult to shift your other department. If you stuck in production for 10 years, it's very difficult to shift your department to QA or any other department. Okay, but every department is has its own pros and cons. If you are in the continuously in the production, you may become an operations head or a plant head in the future. If you are continuously in the QA, you can become a vice president for QA. You will be handling all the quality related activities in the QA. You're not being called for discussion in the review revenue meeting. Of course, if any meetings happen with respect to the quality, you will be the prime person there. But in case of quantity, production will be the prime person. In case of maintenance, engineering will be the prime person. In case of business development will be the prime person. Okay, so everywhere there is a segment. Your upper limit in particular field will be achieved till that level. QA, vice president QA, you will be the responsible for that. That's it. Okay. Next, so there is another profiles for QAs like validation coordinator, all the activities of validation. Validation is once again a very key word. We'll be discussing very detailed in the our forthcoming slides during this course. Okay. Further, you become a manager, head, vice president, and CTO. CTO is nothing but chief technical officer. So you can get that position in the QA. And chief scientific officer position in the R&D also. Chief finance, of course, in the finance department. Chief IT officer in the IT department, something like that. So these are the basic activities in the QA department. You have to establish a good documentation because everything is in your control. So you have to do all the good documentation and all proper knowledge of GMP should be imparted by you because you will be giving all the training to the each and every individual. SOPs to be prepared as per guidelines. You may be working for FDA, which is called Food and Drug Administration. USFDA means US Food and Drug Administration. And you may work for MHRA, which is for the UK, United Kingdom. Because, see, mostly I'm talking here in all the course segments, I'll be talking about the regulated market because that is your value for you. Okay, so you will be in a value chain where you will be considered as a top person in the market. Okay, if you are working on domestic market, Schedule M, we call it as a Schedule M for the Indian market, but you will not be in a position to get more money as your income because you're working for the domestic market. Obviously, the price of the domestic products are less and the quality is compromised here. But when you're working for the international market, you learn more and more about the international concepts. You stretch your knowledge throughout the different part of the world. For example, UK, US, Japan, Australia, all these are having their own level of quality levels for them to procure the medicine from India. Okay, so apart from that, we have product recall and complaint. I think I missed here something on overseeing the entire production process, right? So as I mentioned, the manufacturing, when the manufacturing is going on, one person from QA will go and witness the activity. Yes, there is no any mistake is happening. Nowadays, people are coming with the concept of CCTV. Okay, so they will be recorded in the CCTV. The person from QA will review all these recorded videos and understand, okay, the batch is completely fine. Okay, and the next thing is about the handling of change control. These are the keywords. Okay, once again, change control, deviation, kappa. Kappa means corrective action and preventive action. Risk assessment, self-inspection. These are all the tools which help us to avoid the mistakes and make our systems very strong. If something goes wrong, okay, we have to take a deviation. Okay, once you take a deviation, we have to do a corrective and preventive action. So these are the things we will be very detailedly seeing in this general topics. Okay, what I shared already to you, the modules. Product recall and compliance. Okay, anything which comes from the outside the market, you manufacture a product which goes out, which is coming back with the product complaint. For example, the person will tell, I found a hair in the wire, which is a very serious issue because how the human hair can come into the wire. Okay, because there is something happened during the preparation of the wire manufacturing area because that is inside the wire. Okay, because you can see this kind of silly complaints may come for the industry if your quality is not very strong and robust. Okay, these kind of complaints will not be available in the matured companies, but obviously in the basic level companies without the strong quality team, this kind of issues will come, which means they are not delivering a intended product. I want the product with the intended specification, but you are adding something external air here in the product is not an intended product, right? So that is the reason intended product means as per the specification. In my specification, there is no human hair. How it has come? Then it's a mistake of the operation, and it's a mistake of the QA which is not noticed, and how it has been reached to the market without all these controls. Missing all these controls that reach to the market shows that your quality system is inadequate. This word is very important. Most of the time, these auditors and inspectors will use this word inadequate. Okay, so that is the reason for product recall and complaint. Okay, so training, as I mentioned, generally QA is responsible to make all the people in the premises to be trained on their intended activity. For example, if I am a operator, I should know operation of that particular instruments whichever I touch. If I don't know some operation, I should not touch that instrument. If I don't know to do the calibration of balance, I should not do that activity. You should tell, I am not trained in this activity. I can't able to do. Get the training and do the activity. Okay, that is the plan. Okay, next, we are talking about the validation. So validation is a very big terminology. As I mentioned, we'll be discussing on the future topic. But where are all these validation comes? Equipment, process, equipment validation. What are the manufacturing equipment is there? It's the equipment. Process, the production process should be validated. Cleaning, you have to, how your cleaning is also matter in the pharma industry. That should be validated. Transport, you're transporting some material from one place to another place. For example, now all these vaccines which is coming for coronavirus, right? It's been transported in the 2 to 8 degree. So how it is maintained all the way, it's coming from different part of the world, whether it is maintained 2 to 8 degree. There is a database for that also. There is a temperature logger which will be fixed inside, and it moves to all these different zones. Okay, that mapping will be giving as a print for us, and we will verify that okay, all the way from start to end time the temperature is always maintained in the 2 to 8 degree. So to maintain the 2 to 8 degree, there is an additional support should be coming from the logistic support with the cooling chambers. That will be taken care by the logistics person to arrange a cooling chamber to protectly get these medicines delivered to the destination, to the patient. Till the patient, the cold chain management should be important. That is called cold chain management. From starting from the warehouse of the manufacturing area till it's reached to the doctor's hand, it should be maintaining the temperature. As a computerized system, as I mentioned already, a lot of activities have been automated. So obviously, computers should be validated. Okay, and waters, whatever the water you are using for cleaning for the process should be validated to provide the intended quality. For example, if you are having a sterile process, your water also should be sterile. And there is some limitations for the counts. What count is allowed in the water for bacterial count, fungal count, and what is the limit for the coliforms. Everything has been given in the specification. So you have to nothing to worry about that. In the pharma industries, everything is guided by the specification, documentation, persons, and other supervisors and mentors. So you are not at all left alone. Okay, everything you have to be very supportive in the team, learn and work ethically. That is very important. Okay, HVAC. What is HVAC? Heating, ventilation, and air condition. So to make the environment to be suitable for working, we should have the air conditions and temperature RH balance, which means relative humidity. Because you might be seeing that if you have a more water moisture content in the area, the product will attract the water and become powder. The powder will become like a cake. So which means that the area is having more RH. Then that is impacting your product quality. So always the area will be maintained at the intended temperature and RH. Why I'm telling intended temperature and RH? It depends upon product to product. There is no fixed temperature for every product. Of course, the room temperature at 20 to 25 is the fixed for 90% of the product. But still, some cases there will be changes and requirements in the process also. That is because of the product development complexity. Okay, so QC assurance, you have to do the documentation review of all the QC documents. Manufacturing assurance, you have to review all the manufacturing documents. Engineering assurance, you have to review all the engineering document assurance. So this is the job of the quality assurance team. Now, quality control. So as I earlier mentioned, approve or reject is the job of the quality control. So what are all the samples you get inside? Raw material, which means before doing before you start the process of manufacturing, that material should be qualified, right? Whatever comes into the process. So that is the raw material testing. Packing material, you may be having a single pack. You may be seeing there's a vials and all in the pharmacy. There you'll be seeing with the carton box, right? Paper carton box with the paper inside. So these are the things called as a packing materials. Finished goods is a complete good with a product inside the pack. That is called finished good. Stability studies, very important. The stability studies is something that the product lifetime. For example, the products have been assigned as 2 years as a lifetime. That is based on the stability data, which means that 2 years the stability will be checked every interval, every 3 months once or 6 months once. They take the sample, test it, and prove it that the product remains as per the intended use, intended specification. It meets the specification till end of the stability life. For example, if you assign the product for 2 years, they will continue the product stability for 3 years, because we have to check after 3 years, until 3 years also the product is safe. Of course, they give a safer margin for 2 years. Okay, that's why you see the expiry date for most of the sterile products will be 2 years, and they should not use after 2 years, because that is a risk. Even the product quality remains, but it's very subjective for us. We should not take that risk. So that is the expiry date has been determined by the stability studies of the data. That is a QC job. You will be doing testing every 3 months once or 6 months once based on the product portfolio and the stability protocol. Preparation of departmental SOP. As I mentioned, your own department, you have to develop the SOPs. What are the SOP needed for? How to operate the balance? How to operate the FTIR? How to operate the HPLC? So any instrument, there should be important things are there. Four important things are there. First is the cleaning of the instrument. Okay, your SOP should cover cleaning, how to clean the instrument, how to operate the instrument, how to maintain the instrument, preventive maintenance of the instrument, how to calibrate. Okay, minimum these 4 parts should be there in each instrument document. Cleaning, operation, preventive maintenance or troubleshooting, and then your calibration. This is very important. And analysis to be done for all the products. Okay, what are the products will come? Incoming material they call raw materials or incoming material. Okay, in process material they call it as something called in process material, which means during the process there will be every half an hour or every 1 hour there will be some samples will come to verify the quality is maintained throughout the process, manufacturing process. For example, I do a process of vial filling from morning 9 o'clock to evening 9 o'clock, 12 hours. Okay, so the first sample will be in process sample will be given to QC. Okay, for some particular testing, not for all testing. Okay, for key testing, and then after 2 hours they once again give to QC for the same testing. If suppose they change the product, there will be container, as I mentioned, bulk container, right? One container will be having 25 kg, for example. In the course of time, the one container is completed, and I want to go for the next container. Already you have been released the raw material, but still the mixing, when it is mixing with the first one and the second one, and it's been filled, the additional sample will be taken and tested. Okay, so these are the combinations of testing will be done in the in process. During the filling, the weight also will be checked every time. every half an hour, production people will go and check, take some 10 vials and go for checking. The purpose, my filling is maintaining adequately right, because I can't do a 100% testing of the product. Okay, because I can't able to open all the vials which I manufacture to test. So quality by design, this is very, very important word, keyword in the pharma industry, quality by design, which means every piece of vials which has been manufactured should have the intended quality. So I can't able to check all the, nowadays the industry is having a machinery that will check every 100% vials. This is automation. This is an improvement in the industry. But still, some more industries are still doing a offline practice. We call it as an offline online. If the vials are going in the filling machine, online weight check is there. It's an online process. If someone is removing the vials and check through the balance, then it's an offline process. Okay, so this is a manual intervention again. So manually person will remove, check the vial and throw that, because you can't keep back because it's been sterility has been gone. So that you have to throw the vial. So this is, if it is online, it is cost saving. If it is offline, it is a loss for us. These are the calculation will be there in the business side. How to optimize the calculation of loss. Okay, that is different part. So this is the in process check. Either production person will do as well as the QA will do. In process QA, there will be a person always in the manufacturing area called as an in process QA. Okay, so next we are talking about the method transfer protocols. So sometimes you will be developing a method how to do the testing. It may be a FTIR method or maybe a UV method or HPLC method. That is a method development that we'll see detailed in the QC side. Method transfer report will be done. Method of analysis, how to do a one analysis. pH check, how to do. There will be a procedure for you. HPLC analysis, GC analysis, everything will be a method of analysis will be given. The name may be changed. Some companies will call it as a method of analysis. Some company will call it as a standard test procedures or test procedures, whatever. But that is a kind of a procedure, set of procedure for you to follow. That's it. Specification. Any testing should be there for with a specification. There may be some testing without specification, but without limit, but not without specification. For example, suddenly a person from production will give some vial and tell them to check the product quality through UV. So you can check the peak, but not the content. Okay, not the quantity, but the quality you can check. Okay, so for reference purpose, that is for reference purpose. But for the specification, if you term it as specification, it will be clearly given the how to do the analysis as well as what is the limit. But when it is a general test for a purpose of investigation, for reference purpose they will give. You don't want to worry on that because it will be just for the reference purpose. Okay, so that all will be defined in this specification part. Test data sheet. So whatever you are doing, okay, I think you might be doing in your college also, when you're doing some sample preparation or whatever, maybe you'll be writing, taken 10 ml of sample, put into the conical flask, something like that. The same is applicable, but this will be sometimes in a very well-established company, that will be a pre-printed document. Okay, that avoids a lot of mistakes. When it is already pre-printed, you have to just write, okay, even they mention in the bracket 10 ml, 20 ml. So you have to write, yes, I took 10 ml of the sample. I added 0.5 grams of the A solution. So everything will be very descriptive, very simple, not to be panic in execution of this analysis. All you have to do is read the SOP, follow that and do it. Please keep in mind, this is not for your lifetime. Maybe for first 3 years or 5 years, you'll be doing this activity. If your mindset is not comfortable for doing all these, please switch to the other department at a right time. Okay, so this is the tips from the industrial experience. If you are, because how long you can do the same job, as I mentioned earlier, 2 years, 3 years, you can try to do that for the better of learning of yourself. Once you learn, obviously you have to do the next new job, which is going to be encouraging you for the next level of promotion. Always, I believe, if you're in a 10th standard, for example, I'm just giving an example. Okay, 10th standard, your knowledge should be with the 12th standard, which means that you should be in the position to capable of experiencing the knowledge of 12th standard. So I'm just putting the same in the industry level. If you join as a trainee or a junior executive, your knowledge should be equivalent to the executive or senior executive. Okay, so in that position, if you aim to have all the basic qualifications and the expertise, forget about the years. Okay, year is not going to judge you. If you have all these experience equivalent to the senior executive range, don't worry, someone will be having 5 years to reach to the senior executive, but if you have a prerequisite of the senior executive quality, when you're in executive, you can switch over the company and get that senior executive position. Okay, whether it's a right to switch the company or not, or I am staying with the same company, that is right or wrong. It's a very subjective question. If you have, until and unless you are comfortable and your the your quality of your upgradation, okay, maybe this year you're for next 2 years you are going to be your executive, and the company is really watching you that okay, your performance has been exemplary and they want to make you to move to the senior executive. No worry, you can continue the job. Okay, and job promotion is one way, as well as your salary hike is the next way, because most of the company will compromise. They hike you the price, they down the promotion, means the grade. They hike the grade, down the salary. All these will be the, this is again HR policies. Okay, these are all the technologies they will use for how best they want to pull your energy. Okay, but you should be very cautious. You should take your decision that yes, now I am an executive, but I am really capable of doing the senior executive roles. So that you have to be very careful what your seniors are doing, what your managers are doing, what your AGM is doing, assistant general manager is doing, what your vice president is doing. So you have to make yourself the line of going above others, should keep driving ahead. When you're in executive position, you have to always think about the assistant manager role, 2 steps above from your category, from your grade. Keep that as your target. Learn that skills now itself. Okay, then don't execute the skills. Learn it. Execution is something like you have to sign the document or you have to go for a meeting. Of course, if someone is going for a meeting, you can join the meeting. That is different if he accepts. But no one will be giving that opportunity for you, because this is a very competitive world. So you should be grasping what has happened in the meeting by your friendly relationship with the manager. Okay, what has been discussed in the meeting? What are the points we have been closed? What is the assignment for us? What we have to do for the next few years? So this will keep making you to learn what has happened behind the discussion room there inside the company, because that is the place where different people will integrate and talk, and they talk about the business future. Keeping in a different room, you will be definitely not going to that discussion room, so you can't know anything what is happening at the other side. So these are the lack of capabilities now people are having. They don't know what is really happening in the companies. They just go do their activity, come back, and suddenly one day the company call them and tell you have been sacked. That's it. They will try for another people. This happens last few weeks back, 2 weeks back, I can say. One person, he's around 25 to 27 years of experience. Okay, suddenly the company called him and told that we are going to dissolve this team, and he had been told that you can move with two months of package. That's it. He is earning 45 lakhs per month at 25 years of experience, and then he lost the job now. So this will be the scenario definitely in future for many companies. Of course, pharmaceutical field is good, but the company may not be good. I think you might be knowing that term from Abdul Kalam, right? He mentioned that love the job, not the company. So you always love the job. That will definitely will take you to the next level. If you love the company, you will be stuck in that company. Whether the company, for example, let's take an example of Google. Google is a good company. You can stay there, that's fine. But what is your growth in that company? Whether they are giving you proper hike, proper value to you, respect to you, and you have been moved to the higher position time to time, and not doing the same activity. Because if you're doing the same activity multiple times, you will be getting bored and you won't be concentrating on that. So how you are getting new assignments, all these supports you continue the same company. If not supporting, even the price, if okay, sometimes you can compromise with the price, the salary, then everything is fine. Salary is a bottleneck, okay, you can agree with them. But you can agree for 2 years, okay, I can live with the same salary. But if the company is giving the same salary for next 5 years, that will not be a problem. That will be a problem for you. It will not be supportive for you. Then you have to think about that. So always keep a plan of what is happening in the other industries, as well as how best you can network with the company, many companies. The very good platform for VIT students is that our past students have been placed work all over the world. That is a very good network for us. Okay, so please utilize this channel. Keep in touch with all of them. So this network will always be helpful to make yourself sustainable wherever you can able to plug easily. Okay, don't be dependent on the same company for a lifetime until you have a strong trust on the company, because the trust can break at any time. Okay, even there is a lot of people behind us to do this job, to play a very shit of politics inside the company. All we have to manage this. So this is the situation. You should be very much equipped in all the scenarios. Okay, so now I'm just giving next slide. Supply chain management, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, supply chain management is something talks about the movement of medicines or material or the product from one place to the destiny of the user end. Okay, so this is also not an easy job, very much important, taking care about the logistics as well as the temperature conditions, and customs clearance when you're going for the international, and a lot of things are drug license clearance, government clearance. All these have been documentation activities. Okay, this is very important. This is both for incoming material as well as for outgoing materials. It's a very interesting topic, sales and marketing. Okay, of course, you should be taking from your mind that sales and marketing is something about taking the bag and going for distribution or something. But still, it's an initial stage. But at the end, it is going to be make you as an entrepreneur. Okay, if you have a very good contacts in the marketing, in future, if you're going to have established your own site or own your industry, it may be a CRO also, a very small activity of pharmaceutical oriented deliverables, your marketing skills should be there. You should be able to reach the market. Okay, it's not at all possible that one single person will have all the capabilities, but you should have the knowledge. I don't want to say that you should not have the knowledge, but you can live without the capabilities, but you should have the knowledge. Capabilities, when it comes, you have a right partner with you. Okay, the guy is very strong in marketing, he's already fixed his marketing landscape, then you can integrate and work together. Okay, so this is the way, as a team, you can definitely grow in future in this pharmaceutical field. This is very important. Of course, these are the other roles like district manager, area manager, regional manager. You can go for international marketing, vice president. All these roles will come in the sales and marketing. So when you talk about marketing, you always focus on the international marketing. Okay, not the domestic. Of course, domestic is important because in initial stage. But if you have an international African market, or maybe a Middle East market, and Japan market, and US, UK, these are all the volume high, price high. But you go for Western market, sorry, Western African or African market, volume high, margin is less here. Okay, so these are the calculation you'll be understanding in the sales and marketing. Okay, this is another segment, product management and medical marketing, something like that. This is again about the how to deliver the product. Okay, how to reach the product, your brand to the end users. So market research will be there. There are like market intelligence services are there. All these have been done by this department. strategizing and positioning of your product, how to make your product top to the market. So all these digital platforms are being involved in marketing your product. Also, sometimes you do a kind of canvassing to the doctors and suppliers. All this has been taken care by the sales and marketing with the behind the scene product management, medical marketing has been supporting them. So the next thing is about medical transcription, medical writing. I'm not much having knowledge on this part. The reason is I'm not much, whether it's a revenue generating area, I'm not sure about that. Okay, but still, most of them are working on this. If you want to be an entrepreneur, try this side of this opportunity. When you get a good business, you should have some team to do this medical coding, medical writing, transcription work, and then you'll be paid based on the piece of work what you have done. If you have a huge volume, this will be supported. See, any business initially it will take some time to stabilize, and always there will be ups and downs. So always be very cautious in choosing a profit-oriented business. That is very important for you. This is something about medical transcription and writing. And next is about the pharmaceutical consulting firm like what we have with us. So we having after 20 years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry, we started this like last few years back. I started this service, and now we are doing a good job, and we have a hands of profit as well as the projects we have done for many international clients. Okay, you can get integrated with the consulting firm for any kind of projects. For example, suppose if we have some projects, we need like 10 people freshers, we will take some 10 people from VIT and then we give a training and then we develop them. So consulting is something like a team of expertise plugging with some company. For example, we work with Biocon for some projects. So we go and plug with Biocon to do this particular assignment what we have been offered. The project has been offered for us. It may be a very small segment. For example, good documentation practice is one of the segment we've been discussing with Merck. Biocon, we supported for computer system validation for that work. Third-party audits, GMP audits, we do entire world for different clients located in international companies. Okay, they ask us, okay, we have this assignment, can you go and do this audit for us and provide it? But for auditing, you need to have some expertise. But for doing some, kind of administrative work or supporting for this training works and all, we will use you as the initial resource for supporting these activities. For example, computer system validation. So after the training, if we get an opportunity, you can work with us for the project where we can debut in the site, and our seniors will be guiding you. Yes, you have to do this kind of activities. As we told, this will be done together with some mentor or some seniors. So you will not be left alone in any of the activities. Of course, you will be left alone once you get the grip of the topic and subject. You will be left alone to do your execution, but we will monitor your performance. If anything goes wrong in the performance, we will guide you. Okay, how to develop that particular activity. We will train you. So that is the way you will be developing in the field. In fact, I can say like a few years back, probably 3 years, I think, 2017, I believe, I have been done a campus interview in VIT, and I took 3 people on board, and 3 people has been taken for the consulting firm, and right now they are working in the international consulting firm. Okay, that's the international consulting firm when I recruited them, and now they are working in Italy, and the consulting firm is doing international business where they will be going for all around the world, and these people are these 3 guys are keep traveling every month at least for 2 countries before this pandemic situation. Okay, they have been to China, they have been to Japan, they have been to Mexico. Like they go, our team is there to support there, and they will be working together in that team. Okay, so there will be some company assignment will be given for Merck or maybe Johnson and Johnson, maybe any top companies you name it, Teva. That companies, this team is going and working, which means VIT students which we recruited have been placed in an international company, and they have been traveling worldwide for this consulting firm. They started the career not with the pharma industries, but they started with the consulting firm. So there is an opportunity for everyone to shine it at any way. But all the three people are very smart and skilled people. And during the interview, I took only 3 interviews and three got selected. Unfortunately, one person has not attended the interview. He missed the opportunity. Otherwise, he would have been in a good position as of now. So this is the opportunity. Okay, so you should be able to grab the opportunities always. Okay, business development. This is very, very important considering your future entrepreneurship level. So keep an eye on the development process on the business, how to integrate with the different companies. Okay, new client bidding, new project discussion. Of course, you can't able to directly work on this area because since you have been with the science background, of course, if you complete your MBA, you can able to switch to the business development also. Always they need someone with the background of the pharma industry. So your initial 3 to 5 years can support, and then you can switch to the any platform you want, business development or maybe projects, anything you can switch. But if you're spending more time, more than 10 years you spent in business development, definitely you can't switch to the QC department. If you spend more than 10 years in the QC department, definitely you can't switch to the production or QA department. So all this happens in a initial 5 to 7 years, you can do all these changes. Okay, but after that it's not possible. You have to drive in that same direction only. So that's why the first step is always a very, very important step in your career. That's the reason we are guiding you here. And this is very, very interesting. Government sectors, people will be very much happy to work in the government sector because there is a good positions and government job and high respect, because being a drug inspector, it gives a lot of respect for you. Okay, but salary wise is less, but you will be given a lot of honors and positions, everything will be there. But there is some examination. Unfortunately, this examination is limited only for the pharma guys, D Pharm, B Pharm, M Pharm. Till now, there is no changes in the government that other life science students can participate in this exam as of now. So drug inspector for pharma peoples alone, not for biotech or even for microbiology or chemistry students is acceptable as of now. Okay, and technical advisor at CEO, CDSO, of course, once you have some good experience, even if you are not a pharma background, you can go as a technical advisor for CDCSO and all. Research and development in government organizations like CSIR, Central Drug Labs, IPCL. So these are the things you can work, which where pharma is not mandatory, but this is a government job work actually. Okay, drug inspector is only for the pharmaceutical students. Advisory roles in government bodies, as I mentioned, so you can be a part of the advisory role. So these all will be getting good pay, but I'm not sure whether you will get a job satisfaction here like others, but it's upon, once again, upon individuals' interest and passion. There is also a career as a pharmacist, right? So civil hospitals, government hospitals, railway hospitals, army and navy pharmacies are there, retail shops. You can own your retail shop. Once again, this is for the pharmacists, not for us. So there's no talk to discuss about this team actually here. Patent agent. So patent agent is something like after BTech Pharma or anything, you can take up this course. There is a course for IPR. Okay, jobs in patent sector includes corporate jobs like drafting patents for companies. So as an early step, you can go into this, but this will give you the very initial stage of products. You will not be knowing about what is happening in the next part of the world, manufacturing, release, and in the market, what is that. You are always concentrated on the patent side. Any new molecule comes, how to handle this patent. Okay, but this is a very good job even. Okay, so now we have done with all the departments in the pharma industry and their opportunities. Okay, now we are going for how to make yourself to be well established professional in this field. Okay, suggestion for young life science students. Okay, you should be self-confident and believe in own capabilities. Don't worry, no one is expertise in this world, and until you learn on the particular topic. Okay, even myself will not be having knowledge in different topics in the pharma industry, but I don't want that knowledge. The reason, someone is there able to do that activity, I don't want to take care about that. I can monitor that activity, I can manage the activity, that's fine. So everyone can't be expert in all the area, but you can't tell that I'm not expert in any area. You should be expert in any area, some area. So choose that expert area. As I earlier mentioned, sterile formulations as well as, see, once again, API and formulation. I already mentioned about API and formulation. If you have a exposure in the formulation, it's easy to know the what is happening in the API manufacturing also. What is API manufacturing? Everything manufactured in the bulk in a big container, 10 kg, 20 kg is a API manufacturing unit. What is formulation manufacturing unit? Anything which is in an individual dose or a 10 dose. For example, now we are getting this COVID vaccine, one vial, but it is having 10 dose. Okay, so it's not an individual single use. It's a 10% use vial. So it's a bulk, or we call it as a bulk use sometimes. Main bulk is the our API, which comes with 100 liters or 200 liters. That goes to the another company where the formulation is happened, because the machineries are different. Okay, API machineries are different because they have to produce in a large volume. Big tankers will be used in that. But when you're coming to the formulation, you need to have a very small volumes. So the machineries are very different. So my advice, first focus on the sterile formulations or sterile medical devices also is fine. Once you go into the medical devices, it's very difficult to come to the formulations. But when you're in formulation, it's easy to go to the medical devices. The reason, medical devices are integrated with the compounds, products now. For example, insulin. Insulin is coming with the cartridge inside insulin and device which you can make yourself own injections. So that is called as a combination products. Combination products means device plus product. Okay. In that case, you are also important. Who the formulation from the pharmaceutical side will be need to work in that medical device area also. But when you are having started your career in the medical device, you can't come to the formulation. Of course, you can come for the QMS system, but QC you can't come because your testing is something different there, and in your QC here it is testing is something different, and vice versa. From pharma QC you can't go to medical QC, medical device QC. The reason is here you are testing different topics, but in the formulation it is very high level. It's a tedious work, you can say. You have been trained on that. When you go to the medical device, that is a very less level because you don't have this much of complication of QC testing in the medical device area. There will be maximum, length of the stent, width of the stent, intensity of the tensile strength of the stent. These are the physical and chemical parameters will be more in the medical device specification. But in the chemical side, pharmaceutical formulation side, you will be having very detailed specification for the product because it directly goes into the human use. Okay, so the first thing, capability develop in the sterile formulation area. That is very important. Okay, think high and have only positive thoughts and can automatically go high. Of course, this is it's something about the mindset. Okay, positive mindset. Keep your mindset very positive. During your work, it's a teamwork. Okay, there is no something to hide and work. I give a very classic example. I was working with one of the person, and he is very elder than me. He used to stay even 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the office, and he used to do his own work. Suddenly one day I went and asked him, "You are a manager in the department, and why you are not making others to work, and you are working all the time?" But his intention is, if he gives the work to others, he thought that he will be outdated. He will be, removed from the opportunity of working in that company because he is training others, right? Most of the mindset of the people will be like this. If you go to your senior, you ask something, they won't never train you on that part. The reason is they want to hold that, thought, that mindset. I don't want to train this to this guy because if he gets trained, I'll be out of this game future. So that guy was sitting and working every time late night because I used to work even at the late night. The reason is I'm single, so that I'll be doing that time, that kind of activity. This guy was a very elder guy and he was daily doing this job. And I asked him, he told that no, these guys, if I train them, they will go. I told, If you're not trained them, you have to do the job every day. You are doing the job every day. Even I go by 6 o'clock from the office. You will be start working on that day also. Then what I thought is that this guy is not allowing his juniors to learn and make them to work. The situation is this guy was doing all the work and getting the good name from the management, but he's not being paid well. He put a lot of effort. He learned the topics and learned the techniques, everything. But at one stage, what happened? The other guys have been learned the different topics and they gone up. This guy was knowing this topic alone. He can't able to flourish in his life. He was been still working as a, maybe now he maybe turned as a group leader or maybe head of the department. But for his level of knowledge and expertise and the brand mindset, he should have been gone to the vice president level. But due to this behavior in his short time, he realized that he can't able to successfully grow in the market. Why I'm telling that the positive thoughts is very important. Keep always make your juniors or share your knowledge to the juniors, which means you are handing over that activity to that person and you're taking a new job role, new concept you're learning, and you're expanding your activities to the next generation, which means that you are taking a new activity. That's why I already mentioned you should be in the position always to work like your assistant manager. If you join as a executive, you should know all the activities and capabilities of what the assistant manager is doing. So you do your executions as an executive, but train yourself as a position to the assistant manager. Then it's easy for you to go to the assistant manager and you can train your juniors to take that position. You may be in the position to go to the next company as an assistant manager. You can pull these guys as an executive also. Whomever you trained, whomever is your trustable person. So this is the way you need to have a positive mindset. Okay, have interaction with the staffs, then excel in their career. So that's the one I mentioned. Keep interacting with your superior staff. That will definitely make you to learn better more and go up in the market. At an international conference, maybe a webinar or whatever, maybe free webinars or whatever. Try to be, why you have to attend the international conference. Make yourself updated in the knowledge worldwide. Utilize libraries and laboratories. This is for the students in your premises as of now. Keep learning a lot of things. Surf from internet. Make yourself more updated in the market, in the pharma market, or maybe it's any domain you can consider. Attend seminars, refresher programs, and workshops. This makes you to make your brain brush every time to be in a updated state. Search and research for job-oriented training opportunities. Okay, keep always the focus of this job. Whatever we are delivering, the 4 topics is very much customized to make your presence in the industry, in the top industries. That too. Okay, I'm not interested you guys to be placed in the second level or third level companies. Sterile formulation is our target. Of course, if someone slips, go for sterile APIs or medical devices. That's fine, but aim for that companies, because there are 1,000 companies in India itself. Okay, and you have an opportunity to fly over to different part of the world and to join also even. Okay, I'm just going to tell about that in the few slides also. Okay, so I think we have to be a little quick. This is a current scenario of Indian industry. India is the 3rd largest pharmaceutical industry in the world by volume in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, the pharma has been expected with $65 billion in 2024 and $120 billion by 2030, which is a very, very good time for you guys in next 6 years or maybe 10 years. Okay, you'll be in a position to be in a managerial position or something like that, which is a good package. Medical devices, definitely. That is a booming topic now. We have been expecting in 2025 around 612 billion US dollars. Okay, so these are the pharma cluster in India. Most of them are located, I think it's a bit visible. Most of them are densely located in the western and southern part of India, and some of them have been in the Himachal Pradesh, Badi, Noida, and top part of India. Sikkim is very small because of the liberty of taxation. Most of them have their sites in Sikkim also. Okay, but densely populated pharma industries are Gujarat, Maharashtra, uh, the sequence is Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana, and then Mysore, which means like Bangalore or Karnataka, and then falls Chennai. Okay, Chennai can be considered as in the rating maybe at 7th place or 8th place, I can say. The reason is we don't have much good companies in Chennai region, but still it's coming up with a lot of governments have been implementing policies and other stuff to get this done. Okay, but be flexible to travel anywhere to do the job, because if you are staying at the one place, it's not going to add value for you. Okay, so investment of opportunities in pharmaceutical. Okay, so this is just a basic trend what we got recently. So there are 11 projects are going, which is cost of around, it's in India as of now. $41 million have been invested. There is 11 promoters are there. 9 districts have been taken for this opportunity. 10 private projects are going on, and 1 government project is being planned. So there is a in Andhra, there is a in Vizag, okay, active pharmaceutical ingredients project. As I mentioned, API, bulk formulation, okay, that is planned with $18 million. And Nalagarh, bulk drugs and intermediates. Intermediates means one step before the active product. Okay, that is intermediate. Because usually most of them will get from China the intermediates, n minus one, consider as a n minus one step. So once they get that n minus one step to India, they will do that n plus one step here, that some kind of chemical reaction, and make that product as a final product. That is called intermediates. So we have in Himachal Pradesh and IV fluid projects, okay, intravenous fluid project in Mysore, that is going to be around $3.5 million project. And in Maharashtra, formulation site for $2.74 million project. So these are the private plus government projects have been planned. So these are the some companies in located in Genome Valley, Hyderabad. I think most of them will be participating from Hyderabad region this course. So these are the global players located in the Genome Valley, Hyderabad, like Amri, Ashland, Chemo, DuPont, Sanmais, Lonza, Novartis, Daiichi, Mylan, SmithKline, GSK that is called, and Joda's Expo. I think you might be seeing all these in your job portals or somewhere also. And Indian multinationals like Alembic, Laurus, Biomax, Incozen, UGA, Plons, Biotech, and Unique, Biomax. So these are the different companies, and many more are there. I think more than 80 companies I saw on that Google. If you go to that website of Genome Valley, Hyderabad, I think Knowledge Park, you can see the list of companies who have been integrated in that Knowledge Park. I think these are some research and development companies. Amri, Ashland, once again the same. Oh, these are all the research and development companies within the Genome Park. And just going for the next slide. And these are the volumes-based Indian pharmaceutical companies. Okay, Indian multinational pharmaceutical companies. So Sun Pharma is the top one. Reddy's, Divi's, Cipla. So when I talk, they have their formulation ready. They always plan to have their own APIs also ready from their end. Okay, that is bulk formulation also they will keep themselves ready, because that is a vertical integration. I don't want to rely on the third person to send me the products. So they have their own API manufacturing as well as formulation manufacturing. So these are the company and their 2020 capitalization. And these are the few biotech companies. Okay, so one more key point. If you took biotech as your course in the college, are you capable of getting pharmaceutical companies? Yes. Our certification will help you to move inside to the pharmaceutical company. The reason is, if you have biotech, most of the pharmaceutical company will hesitate to take you. Okay, the reason is, no, you're not having chemistry background, you're not having microbiology background, so how we can take? So biotech is something different. Biopharmaceutical companies will definitely pick you, but still, our course will aid you to make yourself present also in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, that is a aim of our course also. So these are the different pharmaceutical industries, sorry, biotech industries. And some tips for you, how to make yourself flourish in the pharma industry. Suggestion for young pharma tech students for abroad opportunities. Okay, So easy way to get abroad overseas opportunities are something like postgraduate studies, different in pharma discipline course. Okay, apply for the post graduations in international colleges. Apply for that, or plan for doctorate in pharma oriented disciplines. You can plan your own. You can travel to any different part of the world. Apply for some doctorate program there and try to get extend internship to pharma biotech medical device companies. Okay, so you do your internship focus with the pharma sector. Okay, and then join for any pharma opportunity. So once you have done this, it's easy for you to get job in international companies located in abroad also. If you go and see VIT, in LinkedIn, you can find many people from VIT done their courses out of India, and they join some part of companies in the same region. So this is the way you can able to integrate into the international companies. Okay, so lead through internship, entrepreneurship. That is very much important. And score high in subject, because always you be rated with your marks. Okay, even you have a good knowledge and creativity, everything. Your base is the mark to see at first look. Okay, you are the smart student. Next, reach right companies for interns and projects. So as I always keep mentioning, keep a track on right projects, for getting projects in the right company. Learn additional language. This is very, very important. This is the right time to learn language. Even we in your business, you definitely, you may be in future you'll be flying to different countries. So obviously you should be having add-on language, either French or German or Spanish. That will be helpful. Not only this, Chinese is also very important. So any one language you can able to, one or two language you can keep it as a add-on to you. That will definitely help you in future, because this is the right time to take all these overloads. After you join some companies, or maybe 5 years later, you will not find time to all do this additional works. Okay, learn artificial intelligence and machine learning concepts and its application in pharma business. So as a priority, because moving towards the digital as well as this blockchain concepts and artificial intelligence concept, keep yourself updated in that field, because definitely there is a time to integrate with AI concepts in pharma. Already there is integration is going on, but it's not come to the next level. But this is the right time, and you team means this the coming next 5 years team, from last 2 years to next 5 years, definitely will be having a scope in this pharma business with the AI concepts. Build your resume with more technical job oriented trainings like what we give, as well as you can go for multiple trainings which is available free of cost as well as for paid cost. Okay, free of cost will be always judged as okay, you may be participated or not, but you may be just attended and you got the the certification. But paid is something you have to decide whether it's really useful. Maybe sometimes it is cost is high, or US dollars you have to pay, or European euros you have to pay sometimes. But you have to decide on the paid programs whether it's really suit for you. But there is a lot of paid programs, it's good for you to choose also. So more technical certification with knowledge makes your profile looks high, attractive for the companies, and you will be top in the competition. So you rate in the top competitions. Okay, that is very important. Okay, we are done with the our discussions, and now this is about PharmaGenie profile. We are talking about our service, what are all we are doing for the industry. The reason why I'm sharing this, these are the consultants support to the different companies. So you can understand what are the consultants are supporting. I'm just given very small bucket of within my expertise. Okay, we don't want to have more trouble as of now. So we have taken very limited scope in our profile. So data integrity, the word is very, very, very important. Integrity is the word in the industry, data integrity. And CSV implementation, that is computer system validation. Sterile, non-sterile manufacturing concept and design services. We are expert in providing the layout, designing for the sterile and non-sterile process. Handling of high potent molecules like cytotoxic molecules or maybe hormone molecules. So we know the expertise how to handle, design the concept for the person who is handling. GXP, as I mentioned, X stands for anything. Third-party audits. We do a GMP third-party audits for international companies. We travel to international companies and do that, or in domestic we do all this. Remediation projects. So any auditors or inspectors give some observation, then we will the company has been unattended with the expertise, then they will call for the experts like us to do the remediation for them. So any observation is given, how to overcome that observation, that will be the plan for the remediation projects. Validation, qualification, and engineering services. As I mentioned, we have equipment validation, process validation, cleaning validation, transport validation. All these elements, we know the basics, concepts, and international industrial practices. So accordingly, we will support for the company who is not aware of the process and programs. Quality, training, and regulatory services. So we support for quality management support. We deliver training to the international companies. We support for the regulatory services also. So these are all the packages what we serve for the industry as of now. So now you can see some of the things that we worked. It's very less, but still we are just sharing you some of the reference we worked here. So this is another list. We work with some. So this blood point is from US, and this is Indian Immunological from Hyderabad, Rivera from UK, and this Alzheimer is Italian-based company which has been a joint venture with Indian company. PharmaLex is again a consulting firm. We support for them. Biocon, I hope everyone knows about that. Eman International is a US-based consulting firm. We support with them. Agatic Clinical is one of the Indian company, but it's been operated from US. Xavier is one of Taiwan-based company. We support for them. Excelia is a company where I worked previously as a corporate quality head, and I do now a business with them for third-party audits. Nevagen is a US-based company, and Creative Organization is an Indian company. Indukan is again Mexican-based company. ChemFarm is a Chinese-based company. So we work very closely with all these companies for different projects and keep ourselves busy. Okay, so now, as we discussed, I hope you all aware of this is the training sessions we are targeting: GMP training, QC training, QA training, and of course we have a data governance and integrity training that is not here. And the thing is computer system validation training. We gave 40 hours now because that is a detailed version, but we do a very 2 days program or 3 days program also for computer system validation. That is for 20 hours. So this is just a list of trainings we are providing for the industry, but what we gave for VIT is exclusively for the VIT students. Okay, and the certification is coming from LSSDC. So they are into the Life Science Sector Development Council. So this certificate is validated by many companies, and that has been authorized by most multinational companies of Indian based. I hope you might have got all these general. So I just want to give some clarity in the program what we are going to run. So general topic includes all common topics for Pharma 1, which is for QA, Pharma 2 for GMP, and Pharma 3 for QC, and Pharma 4 is exclusively the CSV topic. Okay, so we operate 4 courses, and this general course is common for Pharma 1, 2, and 3. Pharma 4 CSV people can take this course as a complementary because this will be helpful for them to understand the industry practice. Okay, but Pharma 1 is having a separate core activity, that is QA, right? We talk about the QA. This is the QA one. Just a minute, it's getting time to change in your screen probably. Yeah, now it's, I hope it's visible. So now in this, we have a green highlighted area. All are QA related, okay, very specific to the QA core topic. And for GMP, The next slide talking about the GMP. It's taking some time to get rolled out. Yeah, now it's got rolled out. And if you see, there is 9, 10, 11, 12, total of 15 hours are meant for GMP. And next is for QC, 9, 10, 11 modules, which 15 hours are dedicated for QC as a core. And the last one is about the I think it's taking some time to roll out. And the last one is about the computer system validation. So it's a computer simulation package. Okay. And now this will be the certificate will be delivered by the LSSTC. You will be getting a certificate like this to you after you complete your 40 plus or 50 approximately we get 45 hours of training session. Okay, once you complete this training you will be getting this certification, and this is validated and accepted by many part of India as well as the Indian organizations. So this is a quick I think you might be already scanned code, everything is, we are ready on track to start the course by from tomorrow. And thank you very much for this session. And just be hold on a minute. I'll just share the training. We'll discuss something about the training because we get also few queries on how the training is planned. So what I'm trying to do is we will share you the training screen now. The planner what has been already circulated to the WhatsApp group also. I think now you could able to see the screen. Yeah, now I think you can able to see the screen which I already shared to you through WhatsApp and other form. So Pharma 1, 2, 3. I think you can see in the. I don't know whether you can see my pointer there. Uh, the title under the first column, the title there is a Pharma 1, 2, 3, which means the general course applicable for all the students of QA, GMP, QC, and we gave a flexibility for the CSP students to take part in this to understand the concepts, okay, in the pharma industry. Perfect. So from tomorrow onwards, morning 3 hours, evening 3 hours will be a very consolidated course for all the 4 modules for team Pharma 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if interested people from CSP can join, but it is not compulsory for them. But it is mandatory for QA, GMP, QC to take part in the courses on 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Okay, morning 3 and evening 3 sections, and then Saturday, Sundays we exclusively allotted for CSP team, so that morning 3 hours, evening 3 hours for Saturday and Sunday, we will do the training course for the CSP person, CSP training team. And coming to Monday on 19th of July, QA will be having their class on morning 3 and afternoon 3, 3 hours of 3 hours each session. And the very next day, 20th of July, GMP will be having 3 hours and 3 hours. I hope you can see that. Yeah, next, 21st, you'll be having QC. Further following, similarly, for the next day, QA, next day, GMP, and then Saturday, Sunday falls for CSP. And in the rotation, QC will be on 26th Monday. And once again on the rotation, Tuesday goes to QA, Wednesday to GMP, and QC will be having on Thursday. So if suppose why we have made this time chart is to maintain that there should not be any overlap between the students who participated in the multiple courses. So if anyone participated in all the 4 courses, okay, you will be not having any problem in executing this training program. All the 4 certifications you will be getting in the month of August or September after the assessment. Okay, so you don't want to worry about the course overlapping or something like that with this plan. If suppose anyone took 2 or 3 courses, so you have to plan for QA all this green highlighted. I think dates are given in the second version when we shared yesterday. So for QA, the dates are 13, 15, 16, 15, 16, 19, 20, 22, and 27. And similarly for GMP, 20, 23, 28 is the date. And for QC, 21, 26, 29, apart from the common training. Okay. And similarly for CSV, all the weekends, 17, 18, 24, 25, 30, 31. Okay. So I hope most of them have not paid because of some payment link issues are there. So I appreciate that all students are welcome for all the programs. Okay, based on the programs, you can lock yourself. You can join the course and you can pay later. If you can't able to pay to the VIT, you can pay to us also in the future. But the certificate will be issued after the payment. The assessment will be triggered after the payment. The reason is we have to pay to the certification body. Once we complete this course, I will be getting the number of people, and all these numbers will be given to the certification body, and we have to pay them to get this assessment done and the certification. Okay, because we have been integrating with the third party certification body, which is a government organized body, Life Science Skill Development Council. Okay, so we will be planning our assessment session in mid of August. Before that, we will be completing the course. We will be trying to strictly follow the tentative plan. In case any of our consultants are available or not available, we will intimate you accordingly. But we 99% we stick on the plan as of now. Okay, and one more thing, all our consultants who are going to take the class are industrial experts. Okay, so you don't want to worry. It's not going to be a boring topic for you. It's not like your routine college subjects or something. All the topics we have covered are very much cautionally selected, and it's going to be a job-oriented topics. So you'll be having, imagine yourself you are sitting in some company for the training program, and this will be your training. Okay, so that is the expectation. Fine. So the next, I think, hope all are clear with the time chart, means that calendar execution of these activities. So interested students can participate all the courses as of now, because I think it's still open. You can maybe able to join for multiple courses also now, as the course timing are planned as not to overlap with each other. Further, payments are for only for any additional course can be paid during the course completion. Before this course completion, you can do this payment. Okay. The one thing what happened is we fixed the price as 5,000 plus GST was being told initially, but unfortunately that was not been told to you during the communication between the VIT program management to yourself. So all we have been thinking that 5,000 is the package. We accepted for now with the 5,000 as the package, and we are going to pay the 80% of the GST from this 5,000 itself, which means I think you might be seen in your receipts, right? 781 or something like that. This goes out of my pocket to the government, okay? Which will be always a GST should be a amount plus GST. But this time, due to some urgency on this program management, it has not been clearly defined to you. So in future, if you want to join, that will be like 5,000 plus GST, which means that you have to pay additional GST cost. So as of now, we have been done with this rollout of this fee structure as 5,000 without GST mentioned. So we incur that 5,000 inclusive with the GST. So GST goes to the government now. So it is a right time to join the course and get benefited. If not, the next time onwards, it will be like 5,000 plus GST separately. Got the point, right? I hope you might be clear on this point. And next, this is something, the next page is nothing. I am discussing about 3 hours introduction. Now we have done, about to close. And 25 hours hot core topics are, sorry, these are all boot camp process, like you should be aware of all these topics in the field, pharma field or biopharmaceutical field or medical device field. And core topics on QA, GMP, QC has been planned for 15 hours, and the complete CSV is for 40 hours we are given. And we will be discussing on the case studies for every individual sessions for 2 hours. For any one topic, we will be taking and doing the case studies. Okay, so internship. So maybe by next 3 to 4 days, we will be sharing the list of the titles we have in mind. Okay, because I need to have a consolidated list of students, and then maybe we can. If you are, right now we are like 229. We are there. Okay, total students. Now it's been moved to 224. That's fine. So at least we should have at least 200 topics, different topics for each people. Okay, so remaining students, I can give separate topics also. As of now, we collected around 170 plus topics with me, and it's ready for sharing to you. Maybe in a couple of days, we will share it. Okay, so what you have to do is internship report. I hope you can get your guidance on the internship report of VIT. What is the structure of the internship report for the VIT? So you can get that is from your course coordinator and submit a report on that part. And presentation, along with the report, you have to submit the presentation also. Okay, so this presentation is very important for understanding your skills, because this is going to be your routine job in the industry also. You have to do a lot of presentation. So these topics will be presented. The presentation type is a template also we will give you with what to be, the content should be there. The flow of content will be given. Like example, you will be having your record, right? Aim, procedure, results, something like that. So like that, we have some flow of activities. So we will give that flow template. So that template will be used by you for preparing your seminars on the same topic. So here you will be doing a report structure with the internship report, and same will be going to the PPT in a PPT format. Okay, you can use in the industry, running matters are very less. Okay, you have to use the flow diagrams, lane diagrams, and what is this called, tables, chart, everything. So make your presentation very impressive and easy. Bullet points. Don't write like paragraphs or something like that. Everything should be maximum as bullet points. Of course, some contents we need to be given in a paragraph. For example, if you are going to show about some regulatory references, obviously you have to give that. We should not change any word. Obviously, that remains as a paragraph. So that is your skill, how you are going to present your presentations for the particular topic. The topic remains same. Whatever you choose the topic, internship report and presentation can be remain the same, because this makes your time management easy. Okay, so of course before the assessment, the internship report and presentation shall be attached to the form. We'll be circulating the Google form soon. We'll be doing that. Okay, so that is one thing we are trying to manage before the assessment. This too will be completed. Presentation can be run from 20 slides to 40 slides. It depends upon you, but make it as much as crispy and easy to understand. This total data will be remaining for your use, so that one person can use the other data for in your future too. Okay, for example, you want to you want to prepare for your interview. You just open one person presentation about sterilization. Just go through the presentation. You will be getting an idea. Okay, these are the points of the sterilization. This is a easy, ready reckoner information for you. Okay, this is going to be a common teamwork to make all people to grow together. Okay, so one person's data will be definitely utilized and useful for the other person also. Okay, so what we are trying to do here is, next step, I think you're very clear with this plan of execution. And if I think we are running with 10 minutes left. Is there any queries coming? Do we have some queries? Yeah, I think we have some queries here. Sir, do we have to attend both the morning and the evening session? Of course, yes. If you can see my, if you see the, the shared slide, you can see for QA, there is morning and evening, we put 3 hours, 3 hours, which means if you're joining for a QA role, then your dates are very clearly mentioned 13, 14, 15, 16. That is mandatory for morning and evening. 19, 22, 27. So 19, the green highlighted box here, the dark green highlighted box. That one 19, 22, 27 is the important days for you to participate in the program. So the remaining 15 hours of core program will be completed in this. Here we given 18 hours, but we need 15 hours. Okay, somewhere here and there we'll be using little more hours also. That's why I kept in a flexibility with we have here 18 hours of time, but our real class time is 15 hours. Okay, I hope it's clear. Uh, so these sections are recorded, right? Where we'll be able to access them if you want to listen to them again. Yes, I think we'll work on that and we'll share you the recorded webinar link so that obviously you can able to get that data. So we will do presentation in group? How many members or individual? That's why I told. As of now, we have 229 members on board for this discussion, right? In this webinar session, I have already generated more than 170 individual, the titles. Okay, I will be happy to show you now that also. So meanwhile, do we need to present the PPTs orally? No, because we can't able to do for all the people. So we will be evaluating your presentation and there will be a mark for that in the assessment also. Okay, so there won't be any presentation will be given orally by the team. Okay, so that it's very clear because of time constraint and all people can't able to do the job. Your your presentation will be collected, reviewed by us, and we will be rating with let's take a mark of 10. Out of 10, we'll be giving some mark for that. It will be included in the assessment. Okay, there is a next question from Anant Sairam. Can we do the other programs even if we have not registered for it? If yes, what will be the what will the payment for it if for it be done later? Okay, so that's why I told you can do at any time, but tomorrow is the kickoff of the project, the course, right? So obviously you have to join the course because I don't want to lose you the course. So if you are interested, join it, and your attendance will be for us, and you can pay before end of the course program. Okay, that is we have till second, at least 2nd of August. So before August, if your payment link is not working there, you can directly pay to PharmaGenie. Okay. Once we get your payment accounted either by GPay or by direct payment with the receipt, we will be giving you the certificate for you. Perfect. I think it's clear. That will be once you pay us, we have to pay to the third party certification department, that is life science sector, right? So once we make your enrollment in the assessment, then you will be getting the certificate for that. I hope you're clear now. So the payment should be happen at any time before the completion of the course. Okay. So when we will receive the topics for presentation, good. Maybe in another couple of days, I think I can share the topics. We can do that through our daily course program. Can we choose presentation topics by ourselves? Very good. So you can do on your own. That's very happy for me. And I will share the presentation, the complete list. Whoever wants to choose by yourself, you can choose. But the only worry is the same person should not choose, multiple persons should not choose the same titles. That's the plan. Okay, because if you are 250 members, I will be generating 250 individual titles. That is my ultimate aim, because I don't want to duplicate, or people can work together to do this job. So that's my expectation, that we will be having individual titles for each one. There is no any limitation for the titles, the presentations. You can take multiple titles also if your time is feasible, because I'm just thinking about, you have some leftover days, in that time you can able to manage. So there is no any limitation for the presentation. So you have to complete before the assessment. That is very important. That's why the titles will be given by in a couple of days. So parallelly our course will be going. Parallelly you have to work on the internship template and the presentation also. The titles will be given probably by another couple of days. Can we do the presentation PPT individually? Yes, of course you have to do individually, and the titles will be given by us. You can choose your own title also. For example, if I give around 250 titles, but you have in your mind, yes, this is the hot topic, I want to do my presentation in this. Very good. You give the topic and register yourself. Sir, I want to do in this topic. Because we will roll out the same for your in the Google form for this. Okay, for choosing the title. So in that way, we can able to filter it who are all chosen the multiple, and we can able to make that each one have a individual titles. And do we need to pass any examination to get the certificate? Of course, there is an assessment, and I will be giving more details about the assessment strategy, what the life science industry is following there. Okay, because we are, see, I'm not giving my certificate, because it's a special interest that the certificate should be very valuable within India, so that I very much focused on getting this life science certificate from the government of India. Okay, this is a government aided body, and we follow their procedures and norms to comply the assessment. So obviously there will be a pass criteria. Probably I feel it will be plus 80%. You should be more than 80%. Don't worry much about that. Your examinations will be very simple, and it's not a very complicated. You are going to write a 10-page essay or something like that. It will be very simple, and it's a job oriented, right? So it won't be a problem for you guys. Are the recorded sessions available? Yes, of course, we will be sharing the link. Yes, of course, you will be having multiple choice questions, case studies, fill in the blanks, or maybe short answers, something like that. Because see, why I'm giving all these different topics to all people, very important. As I mentioned earlier, everyone will be having a knowledge on particular each topic. So once you reach to the interview process, okay, suppose someone is asking, can you explain any topic which you know in the pharma industry? Then you will be definitely experienced, because of this groundwork you have made. It will be definitely helpful for you to explain about the process. Okay, so that is the reason I'm just giving you individually topic further, and this will be shared to all the teams, so that if suppose anyone wants to know what is risk assessment, then person will go and check the presentation what is shared in the risk assessment. Okay, that is the way we can work. And there is someone raised the hand. Can you able to share the? Okay, I think we are allowing to speak. So can you able to speak now for Pragyan Priyadar?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, for the people who haven't paid for it,
Yes, please.
so is there any deadline, like in that time only we have to pay?
All before assessment. The reason is I have to pay the amount whatever is collected from your end to the
Okay.
assessment plan. Okay, assessment who is giving us the certificate. So that's why I'm giving a flexibility till the end of the course. Okay, that is, let's take an example. We fix the date as the 31st of this month to
Okay,
pay
sir.
the fees. If
Okay,
suppose
sir.
there is a if there is a problem in the payment link, we will advise you how to pay within the timeline. We will work with the VIT. If their payment link is not accessible, you can directly pay to us through the our own payment link. Okay, but we fix the deadline for payment at 31st of this month. I think, sorry, it's 31st is coming as a Sunday, sorry, Saturday. We freeze it by Friday. 30th of July will be the cutoff time for your payment, either through VIT, through VTOP payment link, or through the PharmaGenie payment link. Hope it's
Okay,
clear.
sir. So after the payment, we have to register somewhere, or
No, not required.
okay,
If once you paid, you can give us the intimation. Of course, we will share once again the the query form or Google form, so that you can update in that.
okay, sir. Sir, and the test would be theoretical or it would be objective, sir?
Multiple choice questions are available. Fill in
Okay,
the blanks will be there. See, right now, I'm taking this exercise exclusively for VIT students. So I'm going to design the questionnaire for the assessment. Okay, and that questionnaire will be verified by the industrial expert who sits in the team, in the that body, certification body. So this questionnaire will be accepted by them. So probably multiple choice questions will be there, and case studies will be there, but all depends upon the assessment authority, that is LSSDC. Final authority will give the picture for us. Got it?
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So is there any other queries, or you can, I think Ms. Harshini can speak now. We allowed for your mic.
Um, Good morning, sir. I just wanted to ask if you could elaborate a bit more on the internship report that you had mentioned. That part wasn't quite clear to me.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, even I'm not clear on that. Internship report, I don't know about your VIT's template, okay? But I can talk about the topics, okay? What topic you are chosen, what to be there in the report. For example, if you chosen one topic, let's take an example, change control. There is a topic in the industry, change control. So there will be something about the regulatory guidelines will be given in the change control. What are all the regulatory guidelines? That's why I'm telling our course, whenever we are taking the course, our flow of PPTs you will be going through. That will be a hint for you to prepare your own template of titles. Got the point? So when we take some classes, we will be giving some explanation on the flow of activities, flow of procedures. What is the regulatory requirements? What is the industrial practice? What is the current practices in industries? How the case studies been addressed? So your internship report should cover a initial, okay, like an introduction about that topic. I hope you might be gone through journals, right? Journals and all. So in journals, you'll be having some abstract. Abstract will be there. So same concept you can follow in the internship report. The reason why I'm not touching on the internship report is internship report is the VIT template. Okay. If you want me to give the template for that also, I will give that. Okay, it will be easy for you. I can work with the your coordinator, and we will freeze the template, and we will try to give it next week, so that your template is freezed and the template of internship also freeze and the PPT also freeze.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And so, if that were to be the case, then are you saying that it will come by next week or something like that?
Yeah, the topics will be shared next week. Okay. Meanwhile, you can start once you get the topic. You have to do your brainstorming and deep dive session to get more data about that particular topic. Okay. Thousands of
Okay.
data are available in the internet. So your expertise lie in how you make the data flow in a proper way. That is the exercise for you. and that is easily understandable to everyone. The concept of giving this presentation preparation is going to be a useful data for all the students who is going to go for an interview. For example, you're going for the medical device interview. So there is a title I given for GMP for medical devices. So the person can go and check the GMP for medical devices. Of course, his own preparation is different, but still he can have some quick references from our database. So that helps every one of you to be a quick in preparing for the interview part also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Is there any other comments left? I think where to register and how to pay the course fee if not registered already. So we already shared the Google form. We hope you might be received that Google form. Once you register that Google form, we will be getting connected to the WhatsApp group and you will be getting our update. So this is the only entry channel. Please share to your friends also. So whoever wants to join, okay, just fill the Google form. That is our first way of entry point into the training program. So once you enter into the training program, all our details will be accessible for you. Your data is accessible for us. We integrate you into the respective group. Whether you want to join in QA group, we will join in the QA group. In GMP, QC or CSP. We will make you to join in the particular group. And then you will be closely working with us on all the activities, on the training, and we will be mentoring for you also in the internship as well as PPT presentation also. I think the next question is there from Ms. Samyukta. Will be provided with materials. I couldn't able to get. If you can able to little bit more clear, it will be helpful. Samyukta, can you repeat once again your query? Will be provided with materials. The materials what I prepare, okay, for your presentation will be shared to you. Okay, that will be there in the database. If you are asking about our presentation materials, yes, it will be there. Does the provided link works for all the sessions from tomorrow, or we will be added in a Teams group soon? Yes, we will be having a team group soon for QA, QC, and GMP, CSP. But coming week, the next week is only the common group, right? So you will be having one common group for all. Okay, so that it will be useful for all of us to join in the one platform to know about the general topics of the industry. And then the bifurcation or trifurcation happens with Pharma 1. QA will be separately handled. Separate team is being divided for the QA, and then GMP will be divided and QC will be divided. We didn't have overlapping here because sometimes QA person we wants to attend QC also. So that's why we have that non-overlapping days for execution of this training program. Okay, so the next is about where will, what about this? This we have done? Okay. So where will there be a plagiarism check for the report? No, don't worry about that. So, but you can all the expectation for me is to understand the concept. Okay, because we have to read somewhere. It's not something you're creating something newly. You have to read somewhere, but you try to write in your own language. Since it's not there plagiarism, it's not like copy paste some data from there. It can be a copy paste, but what my ultimate aim is, you have to understand the start to end of that particular topic. Okay, and mostly, as I earlier mentioned, your presentation or also the internship report should have your own designed flow diagram. You have to prepare your own flow diagram. Okay, understanding the concept and then design the flow diagram. That is very important. So once you are capable of doing that, you are master in that area. Okay, if I give some topic, you know that you understand the topic, you go from start to end. For example, complaint, you know that complaint, right? Any product is having a feature for anyone can raise the complaint, market complaint. You see any chocolate pepper or wrap, you will be having for any queries or complaints, please call to us. Okay, so this is the complaint generation. So once the complaint is generated, what is the process? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Then how the problem is solved. So this is the ultimate aim of the program. It's not, you're not going to learn and by heart anything here, because every company is having their own flow of activities. Change control, guidelines and regulations tells something, but your own activity is something different. Okay, principle is same, but way of execution is different. So you should know the principle. I don't want you to know the way of execution. Way of execution will be definitely trained by the individual companies. If you join Johnson and Johnson, okay, they have a very high quality of flow of activities, how to do the activities. Okay, but prior to that, you should know what is the activity, what is change control. A simple topic, change control, will be handled by different companies in a different way. But I am trying to say you know what is change control, what is the principle behind the change control, what is the regulatory requirements behind the change control. That is enough. You have to comply the regulation. You are not there to comply uh, Biocon policy or Biocon procedure or Johnson and Johnson procedure or maybe Merck procedure. That is not your lookout. Your lookout is to comply the regulatory procedures. What is the regulatory expectation? Am I complying that? You may be adding 100 points beyond regulatory expectation. That is your internal. We are not going to touch that. But you should not leave any one point of the regulatory requirements. You got it? If you are missing any point on the regulatory requirement, it's a serious non-conformance. If you do more than the regulatory requirements, those are all add-ons. So whatever you are doing is based on the regulatory requirement. Any topic, follow the regulatory requirement. I hope you're clear. So materials to refer. There are thousands of material available in the internet. Okay, if you want, just put change control, pharmaceutical change control, you will get thousands of material. Pharmaceutical deviation, you get thousands of material. There is no like bounding books, something that you have to follow, but you have to follow the regulatory requirements again and again. Regulatory requirements, the regulatory requirements are available free in the website from USFDA, TGA, MHRA, UK. I specify through company wide. UK, Europe, North America, that is Canada, South Africa, South America, Mexico, they have separate one. Middle East, Saudi is having their own GMP guidelines. India is having their own GMP guidelines. Australia is having their own GMP guidelines, or any particular, for example, change control. There will be a way how to handle by Indian regulations, how to handle by FDA regulations, USFDA, EGA from Australia, Europe, UK. So this comparison very important in the presentation. Okay, so that is the where the materials you have to refer. So the next question for Ankan goes, so what should be the approximate number of slides in the presentation? I think I already shared to you in one of my common presentation, which is long back. It can range from 30 to 40. Okay, once again, I'm telling every slide should have a very crispy information, not a running matter. Running matter can be there for a limited slides, but make yourself work on the data, get a matrix kind of data. Okay, if I tell compare the change control of all the regulations, do a comparison data. Okay, so matrix, I just want everything in a matrix, bullet points and diagrams or whatever maybe. Keep less the running matters. So if I'm going to choose 3 courses, final exam will be clashing with each other? No. You'll be having individual final exam. 3 certificates will be given for you if you are taking 3 courses. 4 certificates will be given for you if you are taking 4 courses. So individual certificates, which will be very remarkably given that your expertise or your professionally qualified in the GMP for pharmaceutical, or life science industries. If you put pharmaceutical, it is restricted only to pharmaceutical. So I'm very careful in designing the certificate also, that you are capable of linking with pharma industry, medical devices, biopharmaceuticals, clinical industries, whatever. So the certificates will be really flexible to take your opportunity. What is the format of the report? You're talking about, I believe, the internship report, definitely I have to check with your VIT team. So they'll be having some, particular template. So we have to follow that, because this internship report, they, thought comes from the VIT coordinator. So that's the reason, because otherwise I was been planning to have PPTs alone, but internship report is for your, once again, for your internal marks in your within the classes, VIT classes. Is there anything left for clarity? You can raise your hand or just quickly share your thoughts. If anytime any doubts, I think you have our personal numbers also. You can quickly chat with us for any kind of doubt at any time. We are flexible. We work sometimes round the clock, but if you're not attending or responding, give us some time. We'll be giving back you the solution for your queries. Okay, so I think we have taken 15 minutes extra. That's fine for me, because it's a knowledge sharing session. So please, your more interactive or your more queries will help us and help all. So don't worry that you are asking a very silly question. None of the questions are silly. Okay, so everything is having some value. So be on that. You are always welcome to ask any kind of queries at any time to us. But please be, make that one question should be, it should not be from the multiple side the same questions. That's why we are coming up with a plan. uh, I'll just explain this as for another 5 minutes. After end of every session, okay, there will be a query form will be generated with the following titles, and there's some 3 queries we have been allotted. So if you have more than 3 queries, you try to put in the same query number 1, 2, 3. You can put A, B, C like that, the queries inside it. Okay, so once the query has been generated, we will respond and share it to all the team. Okay, so if you, when we are sharing, if you want, we will remove the names and other stuffs also. The questions and answers only will be available for you. Topic, question and answer will be there for all the questions. So you don't worry about what kind of questions you're asking. You can ask n number of questions which is related to the technical topics. We can support you, and that will be circulated at least twice in a week or once in a week. Once we put all the queries into the basket, that will be circulated to you in the WhatsApp group. So if anyone, your friends or any of them are not joined this session, please invite them for the next session. The payment can be done before 30th of this month. Please let them join and fill the Google form, the very first form what we sent for you guys. Okay, that is our database to link with you all. Once we get the number, mobile number, and the mail ID, then we will integrate with you for further questions and discussions. How do we drop a course if we don't want to go through it? You can drop at any time. Unfortunately, you have to be paid on that. Any more questions? So once you taken the course, you can't able to drop it. So that's the reason. If you paid, if you attend the course, better you can get the training certificate and payment can be completed. So the delay in starting the course, actually I plan to start this course by July 5th, but the delay is due to the payment link issues, and people, total registration we got 72 with multiples of four courses, 3 courses, 2 courses, most people have done. But the currently we are experiencing only 250 candidates. So where class materials would be available? So class materials will be parked in our database. Of course, that will be shared to you in future. Of course, if you're not paid and you decided that you want to drop the class now, it's no use of joining the class now. But if you want to join, you can join. So if you join, you pay it. If you don't want, you don't attend the class. You don't want to pay it. You don't want to get certificated. That's fine. It's a individual liberty. You have your own liberty. Okay, so it's your individual decision. You can skip the class, but please do it at the very first day, because we don't want to make ourselves in a burden, as well as you also don't want to be in a burden. Because what we got the instruction from VIT is that if anyone joined the class and they participated and they left the class, and you will be fined double the amount of this. That is the instruction I got. Some of my friends has not registered yet, but they want to join by paying money. Of course, can they? Yes, they can. First, we will share. See how I can get connected to them. That's the problem now for me. You have the Google form link, right? I think our WhatsApp also is having the description. The Google form link is there. So please share that link to the team. Let them get connected with us, and then we can integrate it to them. And please, we experience there are duplicates and triplicates of entries coming up. I understood there is some places where people not fees was not paid and you updated after the fees payment. I agree with that. But for if there is no any major change, don't go for that. Only the fees updation you can go for the second time introduction entries. Don't go without that, because when we do a calculation, there are multiple duplicates. Then our numbers are thinking that it's giving us a not a fact number. 250 is coming, but inside if you go, there are 10 to 12 people are being duplicated. So to avoid that, we have to do a lot of exercise on that part. That's the reason. Okay. Is the internship report is necessary for outgoing students who has taken this course? I don't think so. You can check with your faculty, because I am not much interested with the internship report. That is for your internal process. So for me, for my assessment, the PPT is very important, because your assessment, if let's take 100 mark is there, your assessment, 10 marks will come from the PPTs. Yeah, where class material will be available? Yes, we will share that link, cloud link or whatever maybe, we will share it to you. Okay, I think most of them are clear with the clarities whatever we gave. If further still more you have some more clarities, obviously you can able to connect with us through our WhatsApp chat. Okay, we'll be available for you to help you at any time. Okay, I think thanks team, thanks for your well response. And this is not a routine webinar topics for your current subjects. Please be paying attention, because this is your day in day out of your activities. So just a minute, before closing this session, I would like to share 1 second. I would like to share the topics so you can have a quick view on that. Just a few minutes. I'll just try to share the list of the titles what I made it. I hope you can see now, right? So I made it in a 4 verticals. I'm just in front of you. I'm just coloring that. It takes some time for you. I hope you can see the titles here. So the first column is about QMS. I have listed around 33 in the QMS topic, and GMP topic around 58 as of now. I have in the GMP topic. These are the groundwork we have done for your titles. Okay, and this is for the QC. Now we are seeing the QC part, and the next is the CSV part. Okay, so these are the topics we already generated. Okay, so here some interesting topics will be there, like artificial intelligence in R&D, quality, artificial intelligence in production department, how best we can do. So these something are new topics, will be really interesting for the people who are want to do something differently in this topic. And I want to be very clear one more thing about this. If anyone interested in planning to do some journal publication, we will support offline. Okay, the reason is it's not possible that every 250 people will be supporting or trying to do in the journal publication. But my interest, at least the third year students can opt now for the this journal publication. So once you publish a journal in the pharma journals, that definitely will give you value and easy pick during your in your interview process. But choose the right title. You can do any review part, literature review, or comparison matrix, anything you can do. Okay, whatever you're choosing, that will guide you to step into that arena. For example, if you're doing some pharma journal in the R&D topic, you can opt your interview in the R&D area. If you do some topic in the GMP, you can go with the manufacturing area or QMS or QC, something like that. So choose a topic which will be fit for you, that will make yourself very closely connect to the interview process and make you to get success in the interviews. So journal publication will support you also. But I'm sure that final year students will be very difficult in doing, because it will take minimum 3 months or 6 months to close the journal manuscript and get the acceptance and everything. So I prefer second year, third year students can think about that, and future we can able to connect. So I think another question has come. Sir, I'm doing summer this semester and those classes will clash with internship classes. What should I do? So that we have to check with them. But of course, we can. You can send us a mail. But of course, we can't disturb this, because for one person we can't able to change this plan. Okay. Of course, we can try to solve your solution personally. How we can support you in the best way. One more request, sir. Some of us belong from pure chemistry background, don't have much hold on biological terms. Please have a brief view in case of biological terms. Okay, so once you step into the pharma, okay, even I am from a microbiological background, okay, but all these terminology, chemical terminologies are nothing, okay, it's common. Of course, chemistry people will feel difficult in the biological terminologies, but in your position, if you want to go future, this is the problem the current managers are facing. Okay, I don't want that to be repeated with you. This is a very, very valid point you brought here. Any QC chemistry background people, in future you are going to QC manager, being a QC manager. Okay, that time if you don't know the biological terms, it is very really difficult for you to manage the situation in QC. Okay, please bear in the mind, in QC, if you want to be a QC manager, always the QC chemical background manager will handle the microbiology department. Okay, so QC manager will have chemical department and microbiology department. The manager, you will be reporting, means microbiology team or biological team will be reporting to QC manager. So at that time, you should not tell, I don't know the microbiology term. So this is the right time you to understand the concepts and microbiology related terminologies, because chemistry, microbiology, biochemistry, biotech, you can't divide it. Okay, even biotech students should understand the concept of chemistry. Chemistry student should understand the concept of biotech as well as the microbiology. So it won't be a difficult platform for you if you learn now itself. But if you go and sit in the QC as a manager after 10 years, you don't know what is biosimilars or biotechnology, then it's a difficult problem for you, because this will not make you to get a promotion in that respective of companies. For example, if you're working with the Pfizer, okay, Pfizer is having chemical company as well as biologics company also. So if there is some common promotion is going to happen within the site, you should be having a knowledge of understanding the biological terms also. I hope you can agree on this point, and everyone don't get restricted with the terminologies. Be open. This is a platform to learn now. Okay, and this will definitely make you to get more clear path in the future. So don't be worried about that. Our job is to do that. If you don't know some terminology, I'm there to help you on that particular terminology. No worry, I don't want to help you also. You just take the terminology, put in a Wikipedia or Google, you'll get all this information. That basic information is enough for you. Okay, I'm not going to tell you something about go into the recombinant DNA technology, do the plasmid vector, clone it, nothing like that. Just understand what is plasmid, what is vector. That is enough. I think from this corona, everyone know what is plasmid and what is vector. Okay, so still deep dive because you're going to involve in the pharma industry. So even this is same for QC, sorry, microbiology or biotech students. Please pay attention on the chemical terminologies also. Okay, what is hydrogenation, what is hydrolysis, everything. Okay, so it's a time to take both the way we have to learn it. I think that's all. I'm happy to end this session now. Very good response. Be interactive. This is not a college subject. Once again, this is going to be your job. Okay. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for your time and effort. Shining you. Bye bye.